However, the problem of Cloud Dance did not tangle for long. Anyway died. Cloud Dance and Dragon Poor Evil several people came to the nearby and to live down. Obviously, it's for tomorrow's training, so we should have a good night's rest today. In fact, Cloud Dance has its own consideration. Under the starry night sky, a touch of petite figure sneaked into the night. Yunwoo leaves everyone behind and plans to go back to the inner college to ask for something from the elder, although he doesn't know if the elder will give it to her. But she's going to get it. On the way back to Shenhuang Samurai Academy, it seems to take several days. However, Yunwoo has already made preparations. Wrap it with wind element to maximize its own speed. In 2 hours, I think I can go back. In addition to the 2 hours of return, it's just right to go back and forth in one night after the work is done. Late at night, a shadow appeared in the square of inner college. Yunwoo stares around and doesn't find anyone else, so she puts away her furtive posture and walks out to the cultivation tower. Not surprisingly, I saw the elder, Elder Ta. The elder didn't seem surprised to see Yunwoo. He seemed to have expected her to come back. Elder, I want to ask you for the temple map. Cloud Dance came forward, looked at the eye tower. The eyes of the stars under the night sky were full of light, and directly told the purpose of his trip. It's been a while since she entered the inner college, but she didn't find it all over the inner college. The only possibility is in his hands. After hearing this, the elder was not surprised at all. Yunwoo frowned slightly, her eyes were a little expensive, and she was a little confused. Did the old man know that the purpose of her coming to the college was not just for cultivation? Do you know where I'm going? Can I have that? Cloud Dance raises mouth to coagulate Big Elder, tiny pick eyebrow way. In fact, the reason why she is so calm is that even if she has just broken through Wuzuan's strength, she is not the old man's opponent, which can be seen clearly from her inability to see through his strength. There is another point, that is the last time he defended her awakening, she owed him a favor. More importantly, of course, she didn't know where the map was. Otherwise, under the urgency, I'm afraid I would have run away with dirty things. Hearing this, the elder suddenly gave a dull smile, with the meaning that Cloud Dance could not understand. What is the old man laughing at? Girl, it's not impossible to give you a map. As long as you win the Three Kingdoms competition on behalf of the King of Gods Samurai Academy, I can give you the map. Is that fair? Cloud Dance listen. Eyebrow instantly see you. This old man's wishful thinking play really good. Originally, she only promised him to take part in the Three Kingdoms competition. Whether she would win or not was another matter. But under such conditions, the estimated result is different. This is not to let her in the Three Kingdoms competition exposed. However, after a moment's meditation, Yunwoo lowered her eyes. Lift mouth to see to that tower old. Suddenly the corner of the mouth slightly a yang. Can? If that's the exchange, I promise you although she didn't want to win the Three Kingdoms competition, she won it for the temple map. Anyway, maybe it's time. That man's opportunity, it's a deal. After the victory of the Three Kingdoms, you'll come back and get the map. Big Elder listened to Cloud Dance agreed. Enigmatic light smile of say a. This wench unexpectedly agreed. The result already can imagine. Cloud Dance nods. The Mao light passes Big Elder one eye, then turn round to leave. Soon, her figure disappeared under the starry night sky of inner college. The elder looks at the figure that the Cloud dances to leave. The corner of the mouth that the face has no expression rises slightly. The map to this girl's hand, perhaps, will be a good choice. The light murmur disappeared under the square. In the blink of an eye, the figure of the old tower just disappeared. Just out of the college, Cloud Dance felt a touch of familiar, can no longer be familiar with the breath hit, a pair of eyes inside a trace of helplessness. She knew she couldn't get rid of him. Not yet. The Cloud dances, the Mao light sinks, suddenly looks to the treetop behind him. The white figure with flowing silver hair. Suddenly, there was a violent airflow in the air, and a white figure came to the Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance lifted mouth to glance at a dragon to pour evil. The corner of mouth helplessly raises. You always follow behind me? It's clear that her strength has broken through Wuzuan, but she doesn't feel the breath of his following. Dragon Ching evil toward her evil spirit smile. Madam all ran, how can I sleep? Cloud Dance white eyes. Hands ring chest of walk, really lazy to manage man this ruffian rascal appearance. When are you going back? Cloud dance leisurely stop, turn to see the dragon after death. There is a touch of worry in the eyes. What she said about going back is naturally Long Shugua. Dragon Qing evil but just mouth yang, evil eyes calm no wave, seems to this matter and not too big reaction. After the Three Kingdoms competition, I'll go back. Cloud danced slightly along, puzzled looking at him, said, You want to use the Three Kingdoms competition, the identity. Dragon inclined evil drooping eyes, a deep smile. Looking at the eyes of Cloud Dance is full of gentle doting. This little thing is to understand his ideas. Long Qingxia's intimacy rubbed her hair, but the bottom of her eyes flashed by an undercurrent. It's time, isn't it? Yunwu looks at him and doesn't speak any more. That is what he called opportunity. As a matter of fact, she had already guessed, but when she heard what he said, she still felt that worry. However, he even decided that no matter how thorny and dangerous the road is, she go with him. Under the night sky, two people go forward hand in hand. It seems that nothing can stop them. Along the way, they thought about something, but they understood what each other was thinking. The next morning, the sky lit up slightly. Yunwu and his party set foot on the road to participate in the Three Kingdoms competition. Teach them with cloud dance. The early bird catches the worm. But I don't know, sometimes it's also very effective. But not long after they just stepped into the territory of Long Ziguo, they felt a strong fight. Yunwu looks back at the 5 people behind him. The corners of his mouth are slightly pursed, and his eyes are shining. Then he asked indifferently, Go and have a look or go around? With a smile in his mouth, Long Qingxia was defeated by her actions. Mingming was curious and wanted to join in the fun, but pretended to seriously ask their opinions. If he said detour, it is estimated that she will give him a cold face all day today. Go and have a look. Maybe you also participated in the Three Kingdoms competition. If you don't like it, you can solve it by the way and save your energy at that time. Long Qingxia looks back at the 4 people around him and asks for their opinions. All 4 nodded in agreement. In fact, it's because they have seen through Yunwu's mind. Cloud dance slightly jawhead, mouth slightly a hook, then go. Having said that, the purple figure whistling a sweep, the moment has been hidden in 100 meters behind the tree. Each of the 5 shakes his head, and the shadow passes by and hides. The sound of fighting came from the valley below them. At the moment, they are dancing in the clouds. They are on the cliff above the depression, under the shelter of big trees. The position here can be said to be a god's perspective. I haven't seen you for years. You're stronger. Under the mountain, Su Tian, who was wearing a blue robe and a hat, looked at the man opposite, and his quiet voice rang. It's the same with you, but it's still a draw. Standing opposite Su Tian, Su He in a gray robe. I saw his mouth slightly a yang cold humme, a trace of disdain and helplessness in the corner of his mouth. Cloud dance looks at Jie Bang, just 2 people of fight. Mao light tiny am I. Both of them are blue talents. They are 2 top martial arts masters. This ability is in mainland China, but it can't be underestimated. It is almost impossible for ordinary people to reach this level at this age, except for the students in inner colleges. The cloud dances the Mao bottom to meditate for a moment, slightly lifts Mao. The eye passes a silk to be clear. This is the territory of Long Ziguo. Are they students of Longkong Warrior Academy? Judging from their strength, they should be the students sent by Longkong College to participate in the Three Kingdoms competition. Cloud Dance looked back at a few people beside him, with a meaningless smile on the corner of his mouth, and said indifferently, I thought it was a world-shaking fight. Just as they were about to leave, 2 figures passed by and blocked their way. What are you doing here stealthily? Su Tian holds a long sword in his hand and points to the cloud dance in front of him. The cloud dances to hang Mao to stare at the sword in front of one eye body, the corner of the mouth outline of smile some chilly meaning. Lift Mao to see toward Su Dai. It's not a wise choice to point your sword at me. Hearing the speech, Su Tian also pulled out a sneer, as if laughing at Yunwu's arrogant words. The sword in his hand didn't move a bit. How long have you been following us? The cloud dances Phoenix Mao am I, The cold meaning of the corner of the mouth spreads to open. The vision is deep to glance Sude. Follow. Oh. What do you think is worth following in you? Hearing this, his face suddenly changed, but he soon covered it up. Are you also in the Three Kingdoms competition? Can appear in this line, in addition to participate in the competition, is to make trouble. For this question, Cloud Dance did not intend to answer. Cloud Dance looked at the dragon and said, let's go. Long Qingxie takes back his eyes on Su Tian, looks at Yunwu and nods. Su Tian looks at the Cloud Dance that ignores him to leave. His eyes are cold, and he feels like a great shame. Suddenly, with a flash of his sword, he stood in front of Yunwu again. In that moment, a purple light appeared. Bang! The heaven and man, together with the sword, flew out in an instant. Dust rises, leaves fall. Cloud Dance, a group of people, see all didn't see fly out of Su Tian and Stay Lung of Su He, turned to disappear in two people's line of sight. Su Tian's mouth overflows with blood, and his back ribs are broken by a big tree. Looking at the Cloud Dance leaving, his eyes are surprised and angry. It looks like you've got people you shouldn't have. Suha looks at the embarrassed Su Tian and raises a smile of irony. Then his eyes were dim, but he couldn't help glancing at the place where the clouds disappeared. Purple talent, class above him? The speed of the girl's hand just now, he only got a faint purple shadow? Who is that girl? What strength? Also, the men who followed her could not see their strength. There should be a very small number of people like this in mainland China, but he met 6 people at one time, and they were still people who participated in the Three Kingdoms contest. Should we be lucky or unfortunate? After Yunwu left, they went in the opposite direction of Nirvana Yuntai. In the quiet forest, occasionally, the sound of low-level warcraft running away quickly subsided. Xiaowu, where are you going? Shengguan glanced at the woods and asked. That's it. The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to stir up a smile lightly. Dragon Qing evil low Mao a smile, Mao light meditation tiny mi. Pass here, can arrive at Ni Cloud Terrace directly. Cloud Dance lifted Mao to see one-eye dragon to pour evil. Mao bottom instantly flit past a touch of surprise. What a coincidence. She was just, when she was on the way, suddenly, the dragon totem had a reaction. And that's where the strong reaction comes from. This is the first time that she came to China. Although I don't know why this abnormal point is, but can the tornado produce such movement? I'm sure the things in it must be good things. But I don't know, this happens to be the shortcut to Nirvana Cloud platform? It's a shortcut. There should be a lot of people taking it. Why doesn't anyone take this shortcut? Cloud Dance micro frown, lift eyes to see to dragon pour evil. Oh. Suddenly, without waiting for the dragon to reply, an extremely powerful roar sounded, which made several unprepared people tremble slightly. This roar, with the implementation of heaven and earth strong, the ground for a time actually humming vibration, eardrum almost broken. If not for their vigilance at any time and at any time, they immediately wrapped their bodies in Yuanli defense. I'm afraid that their eardrums would be broken. If you only listen to the sound, you can imagine the ferocity and size of the beast. What kind of warcraft is it so powerful? I'm going to break my ears. Just when Shengguan couldn't help but read, suddenly, a black giant in the distance suddenly jumped into the eyes of Cloud Dancing. Cloud Dance, a flash of fierce light, strong breathing body. Be careful, everyone. However, as soon as the dragon's eyes saw the big black object, a deep smile rose from the corner of his mouth. Yunwu looks at the huge warcraft and squints her eyes. Is it level 7 warcraft? All of a sudden the Cloud dances, the eye light passes, a touch of surprise. Because she felt that in the body of this warcraft, there was still spiritual power belonging to human beings. Can the 7-level warcraft be transformed into human form? No, if warcraft wants to turn into human form, it must break through the 9 levels. These 7 levels are absolutely impossible to turn into human form. What's going on? The size of this warcraft is huge. If it lies there motionless and small animals pass by it, it is estimated that it will mistakenly think that there is a mountain in front of it. Under the canthus, 2 ivory teeth were exposed. Face tightly wrinkling together, A pair of eyes, nose and mouth tightly rubbed together, with a tail on the back. It looks funny. It's a warcraft controlled by human beings, and the people who control it have the same mind and share the power. Dragon Qing Evil See Cloud Dance puzzled eyes, mouth slightly young explained. Human-controlled warcraft? Is it a trainer? No. If it's a warcraft trained and manipulated by a trainer, its brutality will be worn away, and there won't be the roar of the fierce demonstration just now. After long, Qingxie explained. A touch of color flashed in his dark eyes, and a mysterious smile was raised at the corner of his mouth. But his expression was just seen by Yunwu. This man, he knows this warcraft? Otherwise, how can I have this strange expression? It's not easy to get into trouble. Let's not waste our energy on it. Shangguan looked at the warcraft, and there was silence in his eyes. However, after hearing the words, the cloud dance suddenly flashed an undercurrent. What's not easy to get into is interesting. As soon as a cold voice fell, I saw the purple figure attacking warcraft like a phantom. Shangguan's face turned black and the corners of his mouth twitched violently. Is it possible for her to leave if he doesn't say that? Can Dragon Qing Evil see this? But helplessly shook his head. What a smart little thing. As soon as the corner of the dragon's mouth turns, it will follow Chaoyun dance. Nangongyi looks at the purple shadow fighting with warcraft, and his indifferent eyes pass by a trace of helplessness. When Liang says, in front of people who are not easy to provoke, I don't know which one you think is not easy to provoke. As soon as the voice fell, the white figure swept towards warcraft. Shangguan's face turned pale, but he could not say anything to refute. He really innocent. No brain. Zhou Feiyu glanced at him and left, joining the battle. Who do you mean has no brain? When Shangguan heard the speech, he was a little annoyed. With a low roar, he caught up in an instant. Lu Bai stood in the same place, looking at the cloud dance entangled with warcraft, pulling the pale corners of his mouth, his dark eyes glowing with excitement. It's really an interesting thing. Cloud dance calls to pull a big knife, volleying to control to split, but all by warcraft easily dodge, on the contrary by its crazy running tail hit. Yunwu half kneels on the ground. The knife in his hand is straight on the ground. The black flame seems to be burning a lot, just like Yunwu's mood now. Anger. In the distance, the warcraft wagged its tail and rubbed its mouth and eyes into a ball. How could it smile at her? Yes, it's ridicule. What's more, it's still satirical and complacent. I can't help laughing. It seems that the 7-level warcraft really grow wisdom. Cloud dance Maoguang a cold, the corner of the mouth surface a put on bloodthirsty sun cold smile. With the tail to show your poesy? Then I'll cut it first. Warcraft see her Bingsun's eyes, shaking tail suddenly stopped, straight tot stop in midair. It in the eyes of Cloud dance, saw the familiar cold bloodthirsty, suddenly proud smile stiff in the face. And those figures who came at a gallop did not immediately join the fight, just quietly watching. Seems to want to know, at this moment, this man and beast in the end which is more difficult to provoke. The cloud dances with the sword, and the figure is like a fantasy, shuttling around the warcraft. The roaring wind almost forms a vortex, encircling the warcraft. It's hard to tell which one is the real body. Cloud dance looked at warcraft's tail in the air. Her eyes narrowed and her mouth suddenly raised a cold and evil smile. Bang! With the sound of the big knife, the air suddenly condensed, and then there was a dead silence. Cloud dance figure a skim, steady fall in front of warcraft not far away, bloodthirsty smile, like Satan's posture. And her hand at this time, is holding that half of the bloody tail. Oh! Suddenly, warcraft roared and jumped from the ground. Suddenly, the whole forest was shaking. I saw that the place where it stood was sunken. And suddenly it was much smaller fortunately. Yunwu had a good sense of self-knowledge and sealed the eardrum with spiritual power. It almost blocked its weird and fierce roar and vibration. However, the people behind her, hearing the roar, their faces changed slightly, and all their eyes looked at her. There is helplessness and resentment. Cloud dance but ignore. But the corner of the mouth outlines a strange smile arc looking at that warcraft pain his straight call. The cloud dance raises that half tail, is shaking toward it, the corner of the mouth bloodthirsty smile does not reduce. Smile again, and so your mouth next time. See just in cloud dance, that voice just fell. All of a sudden, Warcraft in fear and pain back to God. Forepaw swing. A touch of silver light toward the Cloud Dance attack. Cloud Dance eyes a sink, figure a flash, then hide past. The corner of the mouth is raising to put on a sneer. The black flame big knife in the hand is suffused with Morin's killing intention. Not honest yet. Yunwu threw away his tail, and was about to come forward with a big knife, but he was held by Longkingxi. How can I use my wife to deal with this little matter? Let me give it to my husband. Dragon Qingxia dances in the clouds, and the evil spirit smiles. It's a mystery that can't be explained in the smile. Cloud Dance eyes slightly narrowed. Although she was angry, she was mostly tentative. This man doesn't really know this beast, does he? Of course Yunwu didn't ask, but looked at him. Dragon Qingxia young mouth, looking back at Warcraft, eyes a sink, leisurely walked toward it in the past. Warcraft saw him, exposed in the outside of the fangs, toward him threatening type of waved. A pair of eyes angry vigilance of the dragon poor evil. Dragon Qingxia glance, instantly floating on the back of Warcraft. Warcraft was about to fight back, but his body was stiff. Looking at the dragon, his eyes were full of fear. Suddenly, Yunwu felt that the ground under her body was shaking and frowning slightly, but she saw that the huge physical Warcraft was shaking shivering. Cloud Dance pick eyebrow of looking at Warcraft, how does it change so big? And the next second, Dragon Qing evil figure a flash, has returned to Cloud Dance side. Evil spirit like low voice asked, how for husband fierce? Cloud Dance smell speech, the corner of the mouth outline, smile not words. However Shengguan, Zhou Feiyu, Lu Bai and Ningganji all seemed to be confused. He really didn't do anything, just stood on the Warcraft for a while. The Warcraft was scared all over shiver? What's going on? However, it's when everyone is curious. All of a sudden, an unusual smell in the forest suddenly appeared. Who? The sight of Yunwu and others suddenly looked in the direction of the breath. A figure slowly came out of the forest. The man was wearing a silver robe, a pair of phoenix eyes full of charm, and a warm and uninhibited smile at the corner of his mouth. It was like a spring breeze, steady and natural. The whole person looks a bit bohemian, some gentle, some evil indifference, just like a contradiction. Zhuangli, don't you want to stop running around? Why are you still fighting with people? The man took a look at the shivering Warcraft, with a helpless smile on the corner of his mouth, but there was a kind of indifference and dignity in his words that could not be ignored. Cloud Dance looked at him, intuition told her, this person is not a simple character. And Zhou Feiyu, at the moment of seeing him in his sharp eyes, was surprised and examined. The relaxed and joyful atmosphere around him suddenly became dignified. He was looking at him in Yunwu. The man also looked at Yunwu, with a smile on his lips, but Yunwu felt so dangerous. Nice to meet you, little dance. After the man came out of the forest, he came to the Cloud Dance and extended a friendly hand. Cloud Dance looks at a hand in front of body micro-frown. Call her a little dance? He knew her? How in her memory, this is the first time to meet. The man took back his stiff hand in the air and continued to say, Xiaowu, do you want to pass here? In the future, you can walk at ease. Whoever dares to stop you will die. Then he turned his eyes to the Warcraft. I saw that the Warcraft named Zhuangli, who was scared or clever, touched the man's eyes and fell on the ground. I know me. Cloud Dance Mal light a cold. Affirmation is to have never seen this person. Of course it can even be said to be familiar. Well done. Cloud Dance squints. Yes, you are my master's apprentice's cousin's distant relative's neighbor's son's future daughter-in-law. Can you be unfamiliar? Citulon said, but he looked at Yunwu sincerely. He thought that he didn't lie. Cloud Dance has a black face. She only heard the last few words. The future daughter-in-law, His Royal Highness the Prince of the Kingdom of An has come all the way to Longshu. Is it that the Kingdom of An can no longer accommodate you? Just at this time, Zhou Feiyu coagulates Citulon and comes to him with deep eyes. The cloud dances to smell speech. The Mao light passes a silk undercurrent. He unexpectedly is in Kingdom Prince? But she had no contact with the Kingdom of An. He is a prince of An Kingdom. How can he know her? Cloud Dance can't help but slightly squint a Mao sun, stare at that Citulon, but in the mind of brush of turn, Guess this is exactly how one thing. Si Tulan smiles and looks up and down at Zhou Feiyu. Suddenly, the corner of his mouth said with a smile. The kingdom of An is really small, so I came to Longshu to explore the way, but now I'm disappointed. I'm going to the Zhou dynasty to look for my eyes. This brother knows my heart. Zhou Feiyu's face turned black when he heard the speech. But soon, Zhou Feiyu said with an awe-inspiring smile. Your Highness has a great ambition. I also want to see you succeed, instead of stealing chicken and eating rice. Situlan patted Zhou Feiyu on the shoulder to reassure him. I don't want to do anything that I'm not sure about. Then he continued to look back at Yunwu, and the charming eyes narrowed toward her. In the next Situlan, remember my name. The cloud dances to smell speech. The eye ground tiny dark flow a flash. Lift the eye tiny to glance a dragon to pour evil. See, at this time of Longqing evil, is both hands embrace chest, smile not smile of looking at Si Tulan. I like this girl very much. I don't know if I have a lover? Situlan looked back at the dragon and asked him. There was a smile in his charming eyes. Longqingxia hugs the cloud dancing waist with deep eyes. However, the corner of the mouth sneers but raises to look at that Situlan. I am covet my woman's person, sooner or later, I will not let go. After hearing this, Situlan bowed his head to endure a smile. Then he sighed with a sad look. I'd rather have my intention, but the beauty is merciless, alas. After a sigh, Situlan suddenly put his eyes on Yunwu again. Suddenly, she grabbed her sleeve like excitement and said, Xiao Wu, be careful in choosing a mate. If you jump down a fire pit, you can't get out. I'm the straw in the fire pit. Grab me and leave the fire pit. Yunwu was shocked by his sudden excitement. Fire pit? Is there something wrong with the Prince of An Kingdom? But soon, Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a touch of meditation, which is also a prince, and the image is good, but what he said is so wrong. Who does it feel like? Yunwu suddenly turns her eyes and glances at the dragon nearby. It can't be Cloud Dance. Pour also quietly, the corner of the mouth suddenly outlines a touch of radiance. Stretch out a hand to pull back own sleeve from that Situlan hand. Thanks, but I prefer the fire pit. It's a big space. Situlan was stunned. How big is the fire pit? But Situlan said with a smile. Then I am the sea. Leave the fire pit and sink into the sea. Cloud Dance's mouth raised a sneer. Sorry, I am allergic to the smell of sea nausea. Disgusting? Situlan took a puff from the corner of his mouth. Dragon Qing evil smell speech. The corner of the mouth appears a smile. Eyes like provocative looking at Situlan. Situlan gave him a helpless smile. All right. With the voice of a fall, Cloud Dance again look at him. He has been riding on the back of the warcraft. While walking, I don't forget to sigh. Merciless is a woman since ancient times. My heart is full of wounds. Poof. Hearing this, I almost feel the impulse to spray rice. The cloud dances to endure the corner of the mouth twitch, but slant ahead, glanced at the man nearby one eye. The next second, an elbow. Dragon Qing evil eat pain a hum, let go to embrace her waist of hand. The corner of the mouth is still dyed with a smile. After that, Yunwu didn't ask him any more. Instead, he got up and continued to go into the forest. Anyway, Situlan just said that they could enter at will, which was naturally the best. The change of the tornado was in the forest. She had to see what was in it. A few people went to the deep forest together. However, the more you go into it, the more gloomy you feel. The trees are tall and dense, showing a sense of seclusion. It's strange. Generally, there are some warcraft or other small animals in the deep forest. But along the way, I didn't see any warcraft. Is it the beast of Situlan that empties out the road for them and makes them unable to walk? Until half an hour later. Suddenly, an anomaly appeared in the forest. Cloud Dance raises mouth to see a few black-robed people are escaping. Is it from the beast gate? I'll go. Just as Yunwu was about to catch up with her, Zhou Feiyu stopped her step. Her figure flashed and immediately caught up with her. I'll follow you. Shangguan followed closely. After two people chased past, two people's figures soon disappeared in the woods. However, at this time, on the other side of the woods, The figure of the man in black was also found. The cloud dances and the eyes are cold. I'll go. When Yunwu wants to catch up again, Nangongyi and Lu Bai's figures go ahead of her. All of a sudden, she was left with the dragon. Seeing Nangongyi and Lu Bai disappear, Yunwu has a bad feeling in her heart. She always feels that she has been played and teased. Don't worry, it will be okay. Dragon Qing evil corner of the mouth a bend. Looking at the cloud dance frown up eyebrow. The Mao light flits past a smile. Cloud dance looks at him one eye. The eye ground flash a touch of deep. I don't think so. Is this man the one who made it? See cloud dance stare at him to look at. Long Qing evil pick eyebrow. A face innocent shrug. Otherwise I'll go and have a look. Are you waiting for me here? Cloud dance thought for a moment. This forest does not have a strong sense of killing. They should be okay. However, she still nodded. After all, the strength of Dragon Qingxia. She was very relieved. Protect yourself, or you'll feel sorry for your husband. Dragon Qing evil spirit a smile. The figure schemes, then disappeared in front of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance looked at the shadow of the rapid shuttle, mouth slightly yawn. Although this man's mouth is cheap sometimes, she can't bear it. But the occasional caring words are very useful. It's just as she continues to move on. Yunwu's eyebrows gradually wrinkled, because she suddenly felt that the more she walked, the more she felt that there were two eyes looking at her. With the spirit of search, but found nothing unusual. Just then, all of a sudden, she found that the light of the forest in front of her was obviously bright, and she could hear the sound of huge waves. The elements of cloud dance and wind wrap around the body, and soon sweep out of the woods. Outside the woods, what comes into view is a cliff. On the cliff, the waterfall flows straight down, and below it is a river. Yunwu looked at the endless waterfall and cliff, his eyes narrowed slightly, thinking, this should be at the foot of a cliff, right? Standing at the bottom of the cliff, the clouds raised their heads and glanced at the silver waterfall. Not surprisingly, I really found that through the water flow, a faint shadow could be seen. Is it a cave? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow. It seems the place of the dragon roll induction should be here. When Yunwu glanced at the waterfall, he didn't have any hesitation. With a jump, he immediately headed for the waterfall cave. Poof! The sound of entering the water. The figure, like a phantom, swept into the entrance of the waterfall. And the moment the cloud dances into the cave, two figures appeared in the forest on the side of the cliff. The angle was just enough to see the scene clearly. This woman is really attractive. Situ landing the place where the clouds disappeared, with a smile on the corner of his mouth. Dragon Qing Evil looked at him one eye, Mao light slightly a dark. My woman does not need who to evaluate. Are you jealous? Situlan seems to have found a new world. His eyebrows are inclined to fly. What are you doing here? Long Qingxia looks at Situlan, and his sword eyebrows sink slightly. Situlan put away his uninhibited appearance and said, you are not his opponent now. You need my help. I'll say it if I need to. Long Qingxia's mouth was smiling, and he looked at him sideways. Situlan didn't hold on for 2 seconds, and his solemnity disappeared again. Can't you say yes? For you, Zhuangyu's tail has been cut off, and now he still quarrels with me. Now I give my baby to your woman in vain. Can't I stay here for a few more days? Isn't it living? It will grow out sooner or later. It's going to take more than 10 days, isn't it? It's an estrus with the mother now. Without the tail, the chance of being thrown is almost 100%. It's used to being dumped too. One more time, it's okay. Si Tulan sighed when he heard the speech. Having seen his ruthlessness for a long time, he could not help sighing and shaking his head for Zhuangzi. However, Situlan then looked at him and said, I'm here for a few days. When you come back, please let me know. Leisure is okay. You have to hide your identity. Many people in Zhoufeiyu and Longxigua recognize you. You have to change your face. Long Qingxia looks at the entrance of the cave. His eyes are dark. Situlan's face schwa's black come down. Mao Guang indifference of looking at Long Qingxia. What all right, this don't discuss. It's not going to work. We don't discuss anything. Long Qingxia looked at him, and did not step back. Situlan glanced at the dragon, and thought for a moment. Then he said with a smile, I can change my face, but I want to stay by your woman's side for a new identity. On the one hand, I can protect her. On the other hand, I can monitor her for you. Dragon's evil face turns black. Just use this face, it doesn't matter. Situlan looked at Long Qingxia's figure, and then turned to leave with a smile. Boy, that woman has really become your weakness. I don't know whether to worry or be happy for you. After shaking his head, Situlan turned and disappeared into the woods. Yunwu walks into the cave and takes a look around. The cave is not big, and there are no forks in all directions. There are only 4 smooth stone walls. It seems that there is nothing inside. It doesn't look like a place to hide good things. However, as soon as she came in, the tornado reaction was more intense. As if what attracts it, let her step by step into. If not. As soon as Yunwu approached, he saw a small piece of jade fishing on the stone wall in the cave. However, when Yunwu saw the jade, her eyes were shining. It's too familiar. Just like when she got the incomplete fragments of the tornado, her breath fluctuated. It's a fragment of a tornado. No wonder the tornado reacts so much. However, Yunwu raised her eyes to see that the dragon scroll was hung by a vine, and always felt strange. It's like someone put it here on purpose. However, the vines are covered with moss, which seems to have been released for some years. It's estimated that she's too thoughtful. A little anxious. Yunwu jumped up in the air, took out a dagger to cut the vine, and fished the dragon into his hand. She looked at the jade in her hand, and almost didn't need her to do anything. The dragon scroll in the Chaos Hall automatically inhaled the incomplete dragon scroll in the jade. At that moment, Yunwu seemed to feel that the tornado seemed more complete. Just did not expect, so easy to get the tornado fragments. Always feel a bit unrealistic. After all, the sky is not a good thing for nothing. However, it is at this time. Gigi, a fierce and sharp bird call broke the sound of the waterfall, and came to the ear of Cloud dancing. At this moment, she seemed to feel the anger of the bird, as if it was aimed at her. Cloud dance eyes a sink, figure a flash. In the twinkling of an eye, figure left the cave. As soon as she got out of the cave, the figure of Dragon Qingxia came back to her just like time. Little thing, you can run so fast. I've been chasing you all the way for my husband. Yunwu glanced at him suspiciously. Chasing her all the way? This man really thinks she's a 3-year-old. However, Cloud Dance did not break the point and asked, "Are they all right?" "They're okay, but my husband's hurt." Long Qingxia's charming and handsome face looks at the Cloud Dance like grievance. Injured? His breath is steady and full of zhongqi. Is this the injured state? If she believed it, she would be stupid. What's wrong? Let me see. Cloud Dance pretends to anxiously inspect him up and down. The worry in the eye is obvious. Here it is. Dragon Qing evil refers to the heart, evil spirit of the hook mouth, magnetic way. Feel about to be torn. Cloud Dance glances at his chest. His face is cold, but there is a trace of helplessness in his eyes. Gu Yun has used poison to fight poison, which is also a truth. Just tear it twice. Long Qingxia chuckled and said, "Little thing, you are so cruel." Cloud Dance white he one eye helpless way. Don't make trouble, it came. It of course means that at this time, a golden eagle galloping from the sky. The Cloud dances to lift the mow of looking at that from empty, but come of gold carve, tiny cu eyebrow. Level 7 Warcraft? It's really rare to meet such a rare advanced Warcraft. Golden eagle gallops in midair, a pair of powerful wings whistling. However, its sharp animal eyes are staring at Yunwu angrily. A pair of claws stretched straight. It seems that it wants to tear Yunwu. Did she provoke it? Cloud Dance depressed, however, but soon put this gold carving, think is to guard the dragon in the cave. Perhaps, it is more reasonable to think so. However, it seems that the gold carving is not easy to cope with. Dragon Qingxia looked at the golden eagle with a curved corner of his mouth. The golden eagle, the high breed of flying beasts, is still a 7-level flying beast. It is estimated that it is difficult to tame with wisdom. You should be careful, little thing. The Cloud dances to smell speech, coagulate one-eyed dragon to pour evil. Is he telling her to tame it? Look at the ferocious momentum of the golden carving. The animal's eyes are nimble and flickering. And it has the general humanity. If it's a cub, maybe it's easier to tame. But if you want to tame the 7-level warcraft, it's not easy. In particular, it is even more difficult to keep its animal nature tame. However, Cloud Dance has suddenly aroused some interest. Good. Then I'll try. She has read the trainer's secret script. Just like training animals, taming animals can grasp their weaknesses, defeat them at one time and wipe out their brutality. Then they can completely tame them and become obedient ones. However, that kind of warcraft, however, is no different from domestic animals, and has lost any aggressiveness. What Yunwu wants to tame can't be that. To be tamed, it is necessary to let it keep its animal nature, and let it be willing to obey. That is enough addiction. Suddenly, before the golden eagle attacked, Yunwu took the lead in throwing his sword at the golden eagle. The golden eagle looked at the figure in front of him. His eyes flashed with anger, and his sharp voice screamed again. Huh. It's very harsh. Cloud Dance mouth a yawn, brandished the big knife in the hand, split empty but go, hit that half-empty gold carving directly. However, the golden carving is extremely flexible, so it hides. Ha! The roar pierced the sky. However, the golden eagle is a little strange, and did not attack immediately, as if taking into account something. The cloud dances, the eye light is narrowed, the black flame big knife is waved again. The sonorous and sharp sound gallops in the wind, and the strong power splits to the golden carving in an instant. This time, the golden eagle hid slowly, and the feather on his back was brushed off by the big knife. Huh! The golden eagle was angry. The cloud dance is not stupid. Naturally, it can't be seen. Although the golden eagle is fierce, it has never really attacked from the beginning to the end. It has been tamed by others. However, it makes cloud dance more interesting. I don't know. Can you tame it from others to yourself? It seems more challenging. However, at this time, Yunwu's eyes were clear, and he suddenly said, I don't know if it will be more enjoyable to cut off the hair on your buttocks and make a down jacket. Gee girl, don't go too far. Under the roar of the golden eagle, a man's voice suddenly spits out. Cloud Dance smell speech eyebrow a pick, some curious with interesting. Although her cannibal flower, small stink are born will be people's words, also saw that red fire dragon words. However, this other warcraft can speak, she still feels quite novel. So you can talk. Who is your master? Let's hear about it. Maybe I'll think about not herring your ass. The cloud dances like a smile. Among the golden eagles, being plucked from their buttocks is the most shameless thing. It's a naked shame. Of course, for this point, as a human cloud dance naturally do not know. You arrogant human, I can't bear it. Under the roar of the golden eagle, the attack suddenly hit. Cloud Dance see this, not from the corner of the mouth, sneered general glance at the golden carving. The next second, wind element wrapped. Wave the big knife, every time the place of attack is gold carving on the ass. Next, when Long Qingxia watched Yunwu fight with the golden carving, he couldn't help laughing. Under the black dosha, there is warmth in the deep and unpredictable eyes. There are always some strange ideas in this little thing's head. All of a sudden, Jindiao jumps and flies to the cave. Standing outside the cave, Dragon Qingxia's figure has already reached another not far place, making room for the golden carving. If this little thing wants to tame it, it must do it by itself. The cloud dances, his eyes are covered with frost, and his figure sneaks into the cave like the wind. But in the moment of entering the hole, Zheng Lung for a moment, because there is no gold carving in the hole. She saw the golden carving enter the cave. How could it? Cloud Dance can't help but squint eyes, look around the cave, but there is still nothing unusual. Is that golden carving still invisible? The spirit is out. Suddenly, Cloud Dance suddenly raised a bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth. The big knife in his hand was awe-inspiring. The next second, he roared to chop at the stone wall. Chong! The big knife fell towards the corner, and the powerful crash sound rang out in an instant. Huh! The golden eagle roared. Yunwu didn't hurt it. Instead, it hit its buttock feathers and cut off half of them as a deterrent warning. However, the golden eagle was furious and completely aroused the beast. Sharp claws. In the void on the cloud dance head-on attack. Yunwu wants to meet you. But the golden eagle is extremely cunning. All of a sudden, the huge body of the golden eagle, with a sharp claw, is facing the back of the cloud. A touch of hot feeling came to my heart. Yunwu felt pain like his back was torn open. It felt like a piece of meat was pulled alive. The back of the blood flow more than, soaked in purple clothes. Drop by drop on the stone floor, blooming like a flower. Cloud dance eyes sharp, coagulation and her face-to-face gold carving. Eyes light chill deepening. Dragon Qing evil see this scene, pupil mouth suddenly async. A touch of anger in the depths of the eyes swing open. Move your body and come as fast as you can. When looking at the back of the cloud dancing blood flow, suddenly emerge a touch of cold in the fundus. You dare to hurt her. All right, give me the medicine first. Yunwu takes out the medicine from the space and gives it to Long Qingxia to help her stop bleeding. But the line of sight has been looking at the gold carving. The interest in the eyes faded a little, gradually cooled up. Animals, after all, are animals. However, the injury also gave her a wake-up call. When she feels that she is in control of victory and wants to play with the enemy, she ignores that the enemy is the enemy after all. Your contempt is to give your enemy a chance to fight back. Long Qingxia helps Yunwu finish the medicine and looks at her back with some ferocious wounds. It's because he's too careless. It's because he thinks things go too smoothly. Ignore this is the 7th level breeding of Wisdom of Warcraft. How can you not brain, and her fight? This is its territory after all. It's familiar with the terrain. However, no matter who hurt her, he will pay the price. Dragon Qingxia's eyes suddenly cold, looking at the golden carving, mouth with a cold smile. Step by step toward the golden carving. The golden eagle seemed to feel something, but his body trembled. It's mine. Cloud Dance looked at Long Qingxia's bloodthirsty indifference, suddenly reached out and grabbed his hand. I'm going to make it my mount, you can't hurt it. This golden carving, originally she just thought it was interesting, tame to play. But the crafty wisdom of this golden eagle, on the contrary, makes Yunwu want it to be a mount. Dragon Qing evil slightly a zhang mount? The golden eagle has hurt her. Is she going to tame it? See Cloud Dance that resolute eye son. Long Qing evil also gradually. Hide the bloodthirsty inside the eyes. If there's another time I'll kill it. Good. Cloud Dance slightly jawhead, happily agreed. Because there won't be another time. Looking at the retreating dragon, Yunwu looks back at the golden carving again. This time, the bloodthirsty corner of her mouth was stained with a strange smell, and the scarlet light in her eyes loomed. Animals are sensitive to breath. Looking at the Cloud Dance, the golden eagle suddenly felt a kind of uneasiness. He felt shivering all over, and there was a trace of fear in his sharp eyes. Don't be afraid, I won't kill you. Cloud Dance pulls the corner of mouth to it to smile slightly, smile medium cold on gloomy. Although the golden carving is afraid, it is a 7-level advanced Warcraft, and pride naturally exists. You just handed in the contents of the cave things. Does it really guard the tornado in the cave? Cloud Dance a cold smile. Eat into things and then let me spit out. Do you think it is possible? However, you just said hello to me. This time, I'll have a good time with you. At the end of the speech, you turn your hands, and when the fire element jumps up, you clasp your hands. Ha! The moment when the sound of a carving rises. Suddenly, a huge fire sculpture appeared in front of the cloud, almost like to burn the whole cave. The temperature in the air soars in an instant. Cloud Dance looked at the corner of the golden carving's mouth, and his eyes were cold. I made it according to your image. Try it and see which of you is more fierce. You is it the summoner? When the golden eagle felt the unique flash of the Cloud Dance, he was stunned. Then, there was a flash of panic in the beast's eyes. Staring at the fire-carving eyes, full of unquestionable. Cloud Dance smell words, pick eyebrows. To deal with it, she didn't let her real contract beast come out. Can it also feel her identity as a summoner? However, Cloud Dance will not answer this question. I saw that the fire eagle in midair suddenly attacked, pierced the air, with the domineering and arrogance of fire, directly hit the golden eagle. The gold carving spouts a water column from its mouth, while the fire carving spouts magma flame from its mouth. When the two collide, the whole cave is shaking, and the firelight permeates most of the cave. Yunwu looks at the water column of the golden eagle, with a smile on the corner of his mouth and a brilliant light in his eyes. He is really a good guy. For a moment, the rubble rolled and the scene blurred. After a long time, the fire carving was scattered, and the golden eagle also lies on the ground, breathlessly watching the clouds. The hair on the buttocks has been burned, just the fire carving condensed with fire elements almost defeated it. How strong is this human girl? What do you want? The golden eagle no longer has the strength to fight. However, where does it know that this cloud dance skill has not really been revealed? The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to outline the radian, walked toward the gold carving, said with a smile, "You say I contracted you?" Gold carving Zheng ran. The next second would rather die than surrender, like shaking his head. No way. It would never want to be a servant of the summoner for life. Why not? Can you stop me, I think? Cloud Dance sneers and the corners of his mouth are cold. Summoners can force contracts. I won't promise. The eagle's sharp and angry voice suddenly rang out, and he wanted to get up again. Cloud Dance micro-frown a word away. You really say more frustrated, more brave. To put it bluntly, is not no good or bad. At this time, the four people who were led by the man in black came back. What's the situation? Shengguan looks at the bloodstain on Yunwu's back. His eyes are cold. He looks at the dragon with some puzzlement. Yunwu was injured like this. Did he just do it? Long Qingxie glanced at him and said lazily, I advise you not to move, or you will be beaten away. Shengguan smells speech. Just want to step forward. Suddenly Emil, the corner of the mouth fierce a twitch. Get hit and fly? And his words at the same time. Let Zhou Feiyu and Nan Gongyi, who are closely behind, also stop. Bang. In an instant, the huge body of the golden eagle was kicked out with a fist. Straight up the waterfall, like a meteor. The cloud dances in the air, and doesn't give the golden carving any chance to react. The rat-tand, like a whip, instantly rolls up the golden carving in the air. He swung his hand to the ground. Bang! There was another earthquake on the ground, and dust rose. Huh! The golden eagle let out a cry of pain. See, its smooth feather is wet, all stick on the body, look like a giant drowned chicken in general. Originally, the strong man was fierce, but now he looked very embarrassed. At this time, the cloud dance, looking at the gold carving on the ground, frowned, obviously had no patience. It's up to you whether you agree to the contract, but it's up to you not to agree to the mount. In order to tame it, you can't use hard force. It's hard to tame when the strength is light. Too much of her time has been wasted. In fact, the summoner can summon her own contract beast as a mount, but with the personality of Cloud Dance, she doesn't want to aggrieve her own contract beast. What's more, just like by Schwer, Xiaoqiu can't be a mount. It's a 7-level gold carving. Nan Gongyi looks at the golden carving, and his eyes are slightly surprised. You know, in mainland China, level 7 Warcraft has already given birth to wisdom, but it's not everywhere. Zhou Feiyu and others seem to be quite surprised, especially when they see that the 7th level Warcraft is so vulnerable in Yunwu's hands. However, when I heard that Yunwu wanted it to be her mount, I understood. If she doesn't need this flying beast, she won't bother to fight with it. It will be solved with one blow. Why me? The golden eagle looks at the cloud dance, and the beast's eyes are angry, but at the same time, he is not willing to follow the fear. I don't understand why she had to choose it. In fact, if Yunwu didn't take a fancy to it and hurt her, it would have been roasted chicken rather than drowned chicken. Cloud Dance smell speech, but squint Mao Sun. Fancy this need reason? Immediately Yunwu added, follow or die, choose. The eyes of the golden carving beast are angry, and they don't agree to die. It's a 7th level Warcraft. Even if she is stronger than it, her master is not bad now. On the contrary, she takes it as a mount. It's definitely not something the golden eagle can do. Don't worry, little thing. It has promised you. I do not know when. The dragon went to her side, looking at the golden carving, mouth stained with a mysterious smile. Yes. Cloud Dance slants to overdo, doubt to see an eye nearby man. In the eyes of the golden eagle, It was obvious that he didn't mean to yield. When do I? Golden Beast eyes Canthus eyes, like angry want to refute. But the next second, its huge body seemed to be shocked and trembled. Almost a second later, I saw the birds and animals drooping down, bearing an angry voice. I promise. Cloud Dance can't help but frown at a Longqing evil one eye. Looking at his mysterious smile, his eyes looked at him. What did he do to make this guy willingly agree? It's like her fight just now. Just for fun. Longqingxia touched her eyes and took out a hairy thing from her arms. I think this little thing is very cute. I guess you must like it. I'll give it to you as a dowry. Smell speech. Cloud Dance not from want to white him one eye. However, when he saw the little guy in his hand, Yunwu suddenly drew his mouth. It was a little bigger than the palm, and its feathers were soft and fluffy, as if it had just jumped out of the egg, and it was a lovely little gold carving. The man is so dark that he even thought of taking the child to coerce him, but where did he get this little gold carving? Yunwu stares at Longqingxia for a long time, but soon she doesn't think much about it. In any case, the results are impressive. I can't help but make her feel that sometimes it's better to be shameless. Cloud Dance took over the small golden eagle. The little guy also mischievously pecked her fingers. Yunwu did not do anything after she handed it back to the golden carving. Indifferent way. Since promised follow me later, but you don't have what name? The return of the child made the golden eagle feel a little relaxed, but he replied in a more subdued tone. No, I live here all the year round, and I don't need a name. After that, you will be called Jinling. Jinling? As soon as the huge body of the golden eagle shakes, she says, can it still oppose it? I don't need a mount yet. You're here for the time being, but I'll call you out if you need one. Yunwu stares at Jinling and asks. Because it's not a contractual relationship, if she needs to use it later, she can't come back here. Jinling looked at Yunwu and said in silence for a moment. You drop a drop of blood on my eyebrow. When you need me, just call my name will do. Since Jinling agreed, it will follow her in the future, waiting for her to call at any time. Warcraft has no human cunning, and will not do anything against it. However, it was originally after having children, just want to live a quiet life. Now it seems impossible. Just a drop of blood? Cloud Dance didn't hesitate. When the hand brushed, a drop of blood had fallen between the eyebrows of Jinling. The bloodstain was quickly absorbed by it. At that moment, Yunwu really felt that there was an invisible line between her and Jinling. Of course, it's not like the special contract between Hongling and her. Now that it's solved, Cloud Dance naturally doesn't need to spend time here. Cloud Dance raises mouth to see to Longqingxia, the corner of the mouth a yang. Let's go. After a while. So the 6 left. When you get the things, you also get the mount. This trip is a great harvest. Beyond the cliff, you can see the Nirvana Cloud platform of the Three Kingdoms competition. At this time, many people have come to Nyantai, mostly to see the excitement. And the real game will start tomorrow morning. Nirvana Cloud Arena is an extremely open and majestic venue. The big arena can't see the edge at a glance, while a big challenge arena has been set up in the middle of the arena with seats all around. The seat is surrounded by iron railings, which should be to prevent ordinary people from breaking in. After all, on the day of the competition, it's unimaginable that there are too many people. They all rush into the competition field. It's estimated that there will be no competition. In the best view of the challenge arena, there are 3 dignified dragon chairs. There are several miniaturized dragon chairs on the left and right of the dragon chair. One row looks like 2 words, noble. These chairs should be for the emperors and princes of the 3 kingdoms, or powerful ministers. The 3 kingdoms competition, in mainland China, is the most anticipated event. It is said that on the day of the competition, the emperors, princes and important officials of the 3 kingdoms will all come to watch the battle. So it is also the arena that decides the future and destiny. As for how grand, it is estimated that we will see it tomorrow. Are you going to be here? Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil. The Mao light passes a touch of meditation and worry. Longqing evil smell speech. Pet drowning touch her hair. However, his deep eyes narrowed slightly, and the corners of his mouth outlined a bloodthirsty Moriran. Those who should come will always come, and when the opportunity comes, it's natural to do it. Cloud Dance slightly jawhead, agree with his words. But at the same time, there are also some worries. Hayo's words have never been forgotten in her heart. She and he have personally seen the strength of the national teacher of Long Shugua. However, in addition, there are forces behind this national master. Beast Gate. It is estimated that it will be beyond her imagination. During this period of time, she thought almost every day, how far has the influence of the Beast Gate spread? However, no matter what the situation, since he has decided, she will accompany him to the end. She tries to make herself stronger. Strong can protect him. Hard to train their own forces, thinking that one day, when he needs to be able to pierce the sky for him. Long Qingxia looks at Yunwu's worried eyes, with a smile on his lips. How could he not understand her? This little thing, in his affairs, always loses the ability to judge. Is her man the kind of person that women protect? Is he a man who is beyond his capacity? Still, he enjoyed it. At least she did not hide the care. Let him feel very happy. However, Zhou Feiyu, who was standing not far behind, looked at the clouds, and the sharp edge in his eyes flashed faintly. After the competition, he needed to go back to the Zhou dynasty and take back everything that belonged to him. When it's all over, he'll let this woman come to him. His every tiny expression, but all by one side of the South Palace EC in the eye. I advise you to hold back, so as not to cause unnecessary trouble. Nangong Yi stands beside Zhou Feiyu and looks up at the distance with a warning in his cool voice. Zhou Feiyu looked at him with a sneer. Is this a minister saying such a thing to his master? Is it possible to make a decision? Nangong Yi's indifferent eyes glanced at him, then turned and left. However, his cool and secluded voice came to Zhou Feiyu's ears again. I just want to protect her. If anyone is against her, or force her, I don't mind cutting it for her. I hope you're not one of them. That clean, indisputable figure, for the first time appeared a hazy cold. Zhou Feiyu looked at the figure with an awe-inspiring smile. Is he being threatened? Oh. Sarcastic sneer, silent in his mouth. There are more and more people in the competition, and it seems that all the participants have come. Cloud Dance can feel the competition field, and the spiritual power of the participants can be quite strong. It seems that it is not easy to win the Three Kingdoms Championship. However, the Three Kingdoms competition is not only a major event of the Three Kingdoms, but also a matter of honor for the Three Kingdoms. Naturally, all countries will choose the most top students to fight. This is not surprising at all. The participants of the other two colleges are chatting enthusiastically. They represent the honor of the college. Naturally, they can arouse a little bit of admiration. And the cloud dances that come to them are just like outfielders. Sitting in a humble corner, no one should have noticed them. However, anyone who passes within 10 meters of them can't help but take a look at them, and are attracted by their strange breath. One seems to be sick and weak. A dark, weird place. One is awe-inspiring. One is smart and lazy. A man with white sand on his head will never be infected with the world. A mysterious man with a black veil on his head. 6 people, there is not a trace of similarity, but it makes people feel that there is a very different existence, and there is a sense of being out of place with the people present. Such 6 people, even if they want to keep a low profile, I'm afraid they can't keep a low profile. All of a sudden, a straight sword pierced the air, with strong power, extremely sharp stab to the cloud. At this time of cloud dance, playing with the hand, I do not know where to get a delicate wooden sword, in the sense of a sharp hit, eyes a cold. But he didn't even raise his head. He put the wooden sword in the position where the sword came. Chua. With a touch of cold light and shadow stagnated. Everyone's eyes seemed to be in a daze for a moment. Even breathing stopped for a long time. It's going to kill before the game starts? Which college is that woman from? Why can't you even hide? Isn't this a death wish? Yunwu looks at the wooden sword on her chest. The willow eyebrows wrinkle. It's a pity that a beautiful sword is destroyed then. Yunwu and the sharp sword on the wooden sword were thrown away together. What a life! But for this wooden sword, she would have died. After seeing that Yunwu was okay, everyone put down his heart. However, people were a little ignorant. Unexpectedly, a wooden sword could block a sharp sword. This is not just good luck. But look at the attitude and expression of the people present. It is ignored. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss you when I have a fight with my friend. The sword was thrown on the ground, clanging. At this time, a human figure came and stood in front of Yunwu. Long Qingxia and other men look up and down at him, and make sure there is no intention of killing him. Then take back the sun to continue to do their own thing. And Cloud Dance takes back to put on the sharp sword of Mori cool vision. Restore consistent cool, slightly lift mouth. Pull to pull the corner of the mouth. Nothing. The man is in her lift mouth of a moment. Tiny as young. Ordinary appearance, seemingly sick and weak. This girl is sure to participate in the competition? Not to watch the game? However, the man immediately smiled jawhead. A palm, a suction, the sword will return to the hands. The wooden sword has been divided into two parts because of this unexpected episode. Yunwu's several people suddenly became the focus of everyone. However, when seeing Cloud Dance's weak and morbid posture, there seems to be a trace of doubt in everyone's eyes. As long as the people who come to Niantai are all students of the Three Kingdoms College, this woman is naturally one of them. It's just that the woman's breath is too weak, isn't it? Just now that unintentional sword hit. In addition to the sick woman did not respond even a few people around her, but also one did not respond. Didn't you find out? The power of counterattack without any vigilance? Which college do these individuals represent? What a waste. But at this time, in the crowd, I don't know who suddenly yelled. Oh, I know her. It's like the last time when the new students of Shimwang Samurai College enrolled students. The ninth lady of General Zhou Chaoyun's military mansion, who openly went through the back door in the enrollment. What? Miss Yunfu 9? Isn't that a waste according to legend? How can I get into college? It's said that we're going through the back door. It's a big fortune in Yunfu. What's the difficulty in entering the college? It is. A group of people, you say a word, I say a word, the language is sharp, the tone is ironic, looking at the eyes of Cloud Dance is like looking at a mean thing in general. Then the one with black dosha beside her is not the legendary dragon son, right? A voice of doubt once again attracted everyone's attention. If Miss Yun Jiajio is a legend, the name of waste in the waste of Dragon Shitzi in the Zhou dynasty is not weak at all. See, that person doubts a voice together, many people coax again. Oh, isn't it said that Long Shitzi has been disfigured and covered with black gauze all day long? That's for sure. It's said that Miss Nine and Long Shitzi have been paired by the decree. At this moment it's a perfect match, ha ha ha. The crowd burst into laughter again. It was an undisguised irony and ridicule. Everyone looked at the Cloud Dance and Dragon poor evil, can't smile. It's like watching a joke of satisfying yourself with the pain of others. When Zhou Feiyu heard these words, he looked at those who were most critical. His eyes were dark, and a sense of killing appeared in his eyes. Yunwu listened to their sarcastic smile. A frosty smile passed in her eyes, and a harmless and bloodthirsty smile was outlined in the corner of her mouth, but it was gone in a twinkling of an eye. And she didn't seem to care about these boring things. And Long Qingxia didn't seem to care what they said. People are angry because they take some things too seriously. Sometimes, once they take some things seriously, they will lose. He never mind people saying he's rubbish. Because those people's self-righteous will pay the price. Xiao Lingrui, the man just now, frowned and looked at Yunwu with his eyes. Is she really Miss Nine in Yunfu? And the man in black gauze beside her is the ugly dragon's son? Her fiancé. Cloud Dance glances at Xiao Lingrui, who is still standing in the same place. He frowns slightly and says, Is there anything else? Xiao Lingrui took back her gaze and said politely, Are you a participant? Dragon Sky or God King actually, isn't that a stupid question? It is said that she is the 9th miss of the Cloud family in the Zhou dynasty. In addition to the Shimwang Warrior Academy in the Zhou dynasty, can this be Long Kong? Cloud Dance, a trace of impatience. However, without waiting for her to speak, Long Qingxia took the lead. Can you get out of the way? It's blocking my sunshine. Xiao Lingrui's face suddenly changed. He didn't know whether he was embarrassed or angry. Then he bowed his head slightly and said, I'm sorry. Then he turned and left. Cloud Dance raised Mao to give him a look of appreciation. This performance is good, enough poisonous tongue. Dragon Qing evil a face doesn't matter if spread a hand. Evil spirit a smile way. I just say the fact. Cloud Dance white he one eye, say you fat still pant. Dragon Qing evil mouth a yang. Put the head on her shoulder, circle her willow waist, closed eyes to rest. Cloud Dance glanced at him, his eyes flashed a smile and sighed helplessly. After leaving, Xiaoling Rui returns to his position, but his eyes are always watching Yunwu. What's good about a piece of trash? Qingfeng, who competes with Xiaoling Rui, glances at Yunwu, as if he is afraid of tarnishing his eyes. He quickly takes his eyes back. Xiaoling Rui shakes his head. He always remembers Yunwu's cold and indifferent eyes. He always feels that something is wrong. Can represent the college to participate in the students. How can be waste? But her weak breath after about an hour or so, the participants of the college had almost come, waiting for the arrival of the emperors of the three kingdoms. As usual, in this arena competition, the judges were also the emperors of the three kingdoms. The students of Longkong and Huangshu College are all scrambling to sit close to the emperor. Even if they can't participate in the challenge, they can at least show their faces. Only a few of them, still sitting in a corner like a nap in general. Just then, there was a sudden commotion in the crowd. A big wave of students seemed to be surging. Suddenly, the whole field was roaring. The king of Zhou came. With the sound of a notice, Lu Mei frowned and looked into the crowd. I saw, under the protection of the bodyguard, a tall and noble figure came slowly in the crowd, his face with a smile. A pair of half-narrowed eyes are very cold. Isn't that Zhou Batian? Seeing Zhou Batian, Yunwu looks down slightly and unconsciously glances at Zhou Feiyu. At this time, Zhou Feiyu also looked at Zhou Batian, a pair of indifferent appearance, sharp eyes in the complex, cannot say what is the feeling. When Long Qingxia heard the emperor of Zhou dynasty, he also glanced up at Zhou Batian and gently raised the corner of his mouth to show a meaningless smile. Cloud Dance looks at that weak overlord sky, the eyes ponder. The Shenwang Samurai Academy represents the Zhou dynasty. If they win the competition, Zhou Feiyu can be regarded as another great achievement. Now Long Qingxia is also regarded as the son of the Zhou dynasty. She is Miss Yunjiajiu, and Nan Gongyi is the son of the national teacher. In this way, except for Liu Bai, what they are doing now seems to be very meaningful. And they are fighting for face for the Zhou dynasty. Thinking, the cloud dances the corner of the mouth to stir up a sneer of sarcasm. Zhou Batian sat in the middle seat and nodded to the students who were in some emotional mood. However, he had the dignity that a king should have. Three kingdoms competition, the three emperors will attend, and the students can see the country's leader side. Cloud Dance looked at his face that wiped to deal with smile, the corner of the mouth sneer more deeply. However, after Zhou Batian sat down for a while, his sharp eyes swept down the stage. It seems that they are looking for someone. When he saw the position of Yunwu, the undercurrent in his eyes twinkled. It is estimated that he has also heard about the news of Yunwu and others sent by the Shenwang Samurai Academy. As for other news, it is not known whether he has heard it. Because Zhou Batian, after glancing at Yunwu and others, took back his sight, as if he didn't pay much attention. Here comes the emperor of the kingdom of Ann. At this time, with a pass, the king of Ansitujin also came. Cloud Dance lifted her eyes, looked at the figure coming in the distance, and slightly narrowed her eyes. She doesn't know much about the kingdom of An, but she is not weaker than any other country if she can be listed as one of the three great powers along with the Zhou dynasty and the state of Longshu. Compared with the Zhou dynasty and the state of Longshu, the kingdom of An is somewhat mysterious. A tall and handsome figure swept into the eyes of Cloud Dance. Looking at Situjin wearing a silver dragon robe, Cloud Dance's eyes passed a little surprised. I thought that the emperors should put themselves at the highest level of dignity, but I didn't expect that the emperor of the kingdom of An was dressed in such a common way that he didn't look like a king, but he was natural and handsome. Suddenly, when Yunwu glanced at the shadow of Situjin's body, he could not help but eyebrow. Isn't that man Situlan? At this time, Situlan's eyes are also looking at them intentionally or unintentionally, and the corners of his mouth are still smiling. Cloud Dance micro frown, eyes a low mouth outline. It's true that like father, like son. The two of you are carved in the same mold. Does he look good for his husband? Suddenly, Long Qingxia's voice with low magnetism came from her ears. Cloud Dance Mao Guanga am I? The eye ground flashed a pure light. The light smile greets his Mao Sun Wei. If I say he is more beautiful than you, then what will you do? Kill him. Dragon Qing evil Mao Sun am I? A silk chilly idea attacks on. Answer away without hesitation. Cloud Dance is a smile. Smile is extremely mysterious cold. Are you willing to? For a while. Dragon Qing Xieshin Mao a smile. Pet drown of point to her forehead. You this small thing. He knew that with the intelligence of this little woman, she would see something. Cloud Dance looks away. The corner of the mouth is lightly picking a light smile. In fact, she found that this man is like a riddle that can never be solved. Whenever she finds out one of his secrets, there will always be another one. It seems that there is no way to solve it. Just like him now, she knows this secret. Maybe he has another secret she likes the feeling. Like his mystery, like this mysterious man, layer by layer peeling off the feeling. Perhaps, when one day he has no secret, it means that they can live an ordinary life without being so tired. The Emperor of Longshu is here. With a pass, Cloud Dance and other 6 people's eyes, all looked at the figure that came in, including Liu Bai, who has been quiet all the time, is also looking at the Emperor of Longzigua with his eyes. Cloud Dance looked at the so-called Emperor of Longshu Kingdom, and a little doubt appeared in his cold eyes. People who can be emperors should be very ambitious, wise and shrewd. But how did she see from the eyes of the Emperor Longshu that she was confused and had no focal length, just like a puppet without soul? However, when Yunwu saw the figure in a black robe supporting the Emperor of Longshu Kingdom, Long Yaoza, his heart suddenly understood. That person is not who, is the national teacher of Long Shugua. Ink Night Ice. Yunwu looks at Mo Yebing and finds that he is not humble around Long Yaoza. On the contrary, he has the illusion that he is the leading role. This is definitely not the attitude of a monarch or a minister. However, this makes Cloud Dance more certain. I'm afraid the Emperor of Longshu Kingdom is under control. I'm afraid that the complicated situation of Long Shugua is not as simple as what others see. Is this the reason why Long Qingxia has been waiting for an opportunity to return to China? Cloud Dance turns her head and looks at the dragon nearby. I found that his eyes were bright at the moment, and his eyes were always calm and evil. However, in the eyes of Cloud Dance, Long Qingxia has returned to his usual attitude. Raised the corner of the mouth, evil spirit of looking at her. How to look at so for husband? Have you been called the marshal? Cloud Dance slightly jawhead. Mao Guang contains a touch of light warm smile. Really handsome. She was impressed by all his elaborate plans, and was distressed by his forbearance, but excited that he was about to fight back. The man who has experienced the baptism of suffering and forbearance is really handsome. Dragon Qing evil eyes deep smile. Glanced at the Ink Night Ice. The corner of the mouth raised a touch of cold edge. This woman, understand him. That's enough to give him a lot of confidence. The representatives of the 3 countries have come, and the distribution in the early stage of the competition begins. For a moment, the whole venue was quiet. The 3 Kingdoms competition is a good match the day before the team. The second day direct PK, which also saves a lot of time on the second day. An old man with white hair took the Holy Scroll to the challenge arena. He was the master of the Nirvana Cloud Arena, Fengqi. Next, let's invite the participants of the 3 Kingdoms competition to come on stage. The contestants of Huangshu and Longkong immediately got up and went to the challenge arena with their heads held high. The strength of those who can enter the 3 Kingdoms arena in the college cannot be underestimated. Most of the people present looked at them with admiration and admiration. The contestants of Huangshu and Longkong have been on the stage. Everyone looks very powerful. Fengqi waited for a while, but he didn't see the people from the Samurai Academy on the stage, a pair of white eyebrows to pick. Then he cleared his throat and said, "The contestants of the Samurai Academy come on stage." There was a dead silence in the ring. People began to talk about it. Isn't the man from the Samurai Academy here? Can't you be scared to come? It seems that the King of God is just like that. It's getting worse and worse. They've lost to us for 3 years in a row. I'm afraid. In the public satire disdain, Zhou Baishan's face on that seat was not very good looking. However, it is at this moment. Cloud Dance in the corner of the humble, slowly stood up. Eyes calm without wave. It seems that their comments have nothing to do with her. Then Long Qingxie, Zhou Feiyu, Nangong Yi, Shengguan and Lu Bai all stood up. 6 in all. Contestants of the King of God's Samurai Academy. People looked at the 6 people who stood up, and were stunned for a moment. A moment later. Haha. Am I right? It's them? 2 trash, 2 monsters, 2 normal people, perfect match. Another ridicule, no room, naked ridicule. However, Su Tian and Su He, who were standing on the challenge arena, were shocked when they saw the Cloud Dance. Is it them? They just arrived soon. Naturally did not hear the first round of ridicule. However, no one present knows the strength of Cloud Dance better than them. I'm afraid I can't forget the scene that Yunwu beat him to fly. They used to belong to the Samurai Academy. This Cloud Dance mouth with a sneer, listening to the irony, mouth slightly a hook, a dark light in the eyes. She would slap these taunts on their mouths and tell them that even if the dog can't spit out ivory, it shouldn't look down on people. Are you 6 contestants from the Samurai Academy? The Win 7 old white eyebrow One Yang, some query of want to confirm. Cloud Dance lifted Mao indifferently to sweep Win 7 old one eye, icy cold way. Yes. Win 7 old listened to students you a word IA language. Sharp eyes have God has been exploring looking at the cloud. But in the heart is murmuring, this wench is really others say of so bad? Although this wench surface looks like a sick chi deficiency, but the 5 old guys of the God King can grow up in the sky. Although they have lost for several years in a row, the strength of the people selected to compete in each year is not bad. How did you get such a little girl to take the lead this time? Is this girl hiding her strength on purpose? Old Fengqi missed it from the bottom of his heart. His mental strength came out, and he wanted to feel the strength of Yunwu. But after he tried, his face darkened. No. Empty nothingness. He can't see the strength of this girl? Is this girl hiding her strength? Or is it really rubbish? For a moment, Fengqi couldn't see through it. It was the first time in his life. Fengqi frowned and thought to himself. However, my heart is inexplicable to Cloud Dance, look forward to it. It's in bursts of ridicule and ridicule. Cloud Dance eyes indifferently went to the challenge arena, followed by the 5 men like followers, posture, momentum, feel all have. Because it was in the corner of the crowd was standing and their sight was slightly blocked. The emperors of the 3 kingdoms only heard what people said, but they didn't see anyone. I know. When Yunwu and others stepped on the challenge arena, and saw their appearance clearly, Zhou Batian and Mo Yebing's eyes suddenly changed. Ink night ice cold eyes, suddenly dark looking at the clouds. Is that her? Although, at this time Cloud Dance 9 young ladies' appearance with the original appearance has the profound difference, but, on the body that breath actually how also can't change. He had absorbed the strength of her, but he couldn't forget that breath. After looking for her for so long, she escaped every time, but this time she sent her to the door. Just when his eyes of Sun Bing touched another white willow, Sun Han and his eyes suddenly narrowed up, and a deep invisible meditation swept by. Why is he here? When Zhou Batian saw the Cloud Dance, his sharp eyes flashed a trace of depth. The waste of the past can fight on behalf of the Samurai Academy today. This period is only a few months. During this period, he heard some news about how Yunwu was promoted to the inner college. Although the college deliberately conceals, the information is not very clear. But this wench, what strength has concealed necessarily? The Cloud family has never told him, however. When Zhou Batian swept to Zhou Feiyu, a touch of complex color passed in his sharp eyes. Of his many sons, perhaps, this one is the best. However, being too good is sometimes a crime, especially in front of the imperial power. But how did he get to the college? On behalf of the Samurai Academy? And finally, his eyes swept that dragon to poor evil. For Long Qingxie, his eyes are dark. He is a waste exchange son. Does this waste appear here to discredit him? Zhou Bie was very angry at the bottom of his eyes. However, seeing the smiling appearance of Situjin, the king of and around him, he forced his face not to be gloomy. This touch of questioning inquiry, sarcasm and ridicule, Cloud Dance all look in the eyes, feel in the heart, including Zhou Beishan's angry eyes. At the corner of his mouth, he suddenly outlined a strange arc. She will make Zhou Batian like a pug, respectful and smiling to her. She will make all the people in mainland China think she is a waste and shut up. She will let those who dislike her continue to dislike her. She likes the way that she dislikes her and can't get rid of her. Everyone be quiet. I'll announce the match. Win 7 old looking at the noisy crowd, white eyebrow a horizontal. A touch of cold voice shocked the whole stadium. Cloud Dance eyes looking at Win 7 old eyebrow peak to pick for a while, Marshall Saint medium term strength. Pretty good. Because it's an academic competition of the 3 kingdoms, the competition will be carried out according to the rules set in previous years, leaving behind the traditional way of promoting popularity. Last time, the winner was Huangshu College, so in the first game of this year, Huangshu College will fight against Longkong College first. The winner will continue to challenge Shimwang College, until the winner will be judged as the winner, and become the champion of the 3 kingdoms competition. However, just as the old saying of Fengqi came down, a sudden voice rang out. I have a condition to add. Qingfeng, who just competed with Xiaoling Rui, glanced at the Cloud Dance, hummed coldly, and turned to look at Xiangfeng Qilao. Win 7 old white eyebrow a coagulation. Some sullen long beard floated up. Add what condition? For the first time? There is no conditional rule. Qing Feng's eyes flashed a touch of annoyance, but soon covered up, but glanced at the cloud and sneered. My condition is very simple. If we Huangshu College win, I want them to bow to us on behalf of Shimwang College. I believe this condition is very simple for them. Win 7 old listened to words, face suddenly a change. The vicissitudes of life. Chilly eyes looking at Qing Feng, slightly with a warning. Young man, do things to stay 3 points. This truth also need the old man to teach you? However, Qing Feng didn't think so. If you don't dare to accept this kind of simple condition, then the people of Shimwang Samurai Academy are really scum. Provocation? In other words, is it a slap in the face of the king of Zhou or a stumbling block in front of the king of Zhou? Then if you lose, bow. It's a shame. If you don't answer, you will be humiliated in public. No matter which one, for Zhou Batian, his face will not look good. Originally, Yunwu would not care about the face of Zhou dynasty, or even Zhou Batian. However, in the face of this provocation, it has also aroused considerable interest in Cloud Dance. I accept your terms on behalf of the Samurai Academy, but we also have one. Cloud Dance glances at Qing Feng one eye, Mao Guang center Meng delimits, the corner of the mouth micro evokes a touch of creepy smile. This is the reason why Qing Feng attaches conditions. He just can't stand a waste, and has such a cool and arrogant attitude. However, he has all kinds of martial arts skills, but he has no brain to think about. Don't you think it's not strange that 5 men are willing to follow if Yunwu is really a waste? Win 7 Olda listened to Cloud Dance to challenge, eyebrow tiny a see you. I don't know why, there is always a bad feeling in my heart. I agree to your terms as long as you agree to mine. Qing Feng sneers and glances at the cloud with disdain. Xiaoling Rui wants to reach out to stop Qing Feng from talking big, but it's too late. He can only sigh and take back his hand which is still in mid-air. And Su Tian and Su He looked at each other, and looked at the maple with a smile, as if watching a clown in general. I really don't know what to do. If someone doesn't challenge me, I will challenge that girl. It's obvious that you're going to die. I agree with your condition, but my condition is that if the Shunwang Samurai Academy wins the championship, the Huangshu Samurai Academy will be dissolved and completely disappear in the mainland of China. Such as the sharp edge of the tone, bloodthirsty smile slightly young. That double star eye is suffused with a touch of dark red light, just like the posture of Hel Rosha, looking at the stunned Qing Feng. Dissolution? She said, to dissolve the Huangshu Warrior Academy? Qing Feng thought he heard wrong. Until he looked at her that pair of inexplicable strange eyes, he was sure that he did not hear wrong. All the people in the challenge arena, were shocked to see the cloud dance. I can't seem to believe it. It's a waste word. Zhou Batian looked at the cloud dance, and his thick eyebrows coagulated slightly. There seems to be some doubts. She has such a big voice. Is she really strong? But Situjin didn't get angry when he heard this sentence. On the contrary, he laughed with a sense of mystery that belonged to the emperor. Sit beside him, natural and unrestrained. Situlan hears his words. Stare, big eyes. Can't believe of, curl a mouth. Then just like a smile, dignified Saitone. It seems that Huangshu College can't keep it. Then he moved his eyes to Long Qingxia. His eyes were quiet, and his heart was reading. Your woman took my baby, let my golden eagle betray me, and swallowed me a college. How to calculate this account? You have the ability to stop it yourself. That's your woman. That's why you let yourself stop it. Situlan's eyes stare at Long Qingxia, and the corners of his mouth twitch fiercely. When he has a daughter-in-law, he forgets his brother's guy. Looking up at Yunwu's strong posture, Fengqi frowned. Girl, is this? Let's agree to this additional condition. What if a blind cat bumps into a dead mouse? Cloud Dance glances at the Wind 7 Old One Eye. The corner of the mouth is hanging a shallow smile, but the cold light in the eyes is a flash. Wind 7 Old One Lung. Yes, he was right. He saw the murderous chill in the girl's eyes. Is she threatening him? However, the Wind 7 Old, but soon the corner of the mouth smoked. Because the Wind 7 Mister feels his martial saint's strength, always does not take the strength in front of her. This wench's strength should not really be above him? If that's the case, the Three Kingdoms game will be, well, the conditions will take effect and the game will start tomorrow. Fengqi felt his forehead helplessly, and 3 black lines appeared on his forehead. See, that Wind 7 Old, a promise. The ground of ridicule suddenly again hit. Beyond our capacity, we still clamor with our Huangshu Samurai Academy. It's a dream to have a chance for a blind cat to meet a dead mouse. A large group of students from Huangshu Samurai Academy began to mock Yunwu and spit out Xingzi, hoping to drown her. Cloud Dance, eyes calm, ignore everyone's eyes, turned and walked off the stage. Long Qingxia followed closely. Although he did not speak, but the eye of Mo Yebing did not look at him less, as if, want to see something from him. And that Mo Yi Ice wants to see what come. Long Qing evil nature is very clear. Unfortunately, as long as he does not want to reveal, no one can see anything from him. But soon. And the moment Lu Bai stepped down from the stage, he glanced at the dark eyes, looked at the ice in the dark night, and the bottom of his eyes swept a touch of deep. Then he left. When they left, Mo Yebing also helped Long Yaozi to leave. Dragon Qing Evil secretly glanced at the figure they left, eyes deep as the abyss. It was not until their figure came out of sight that he withdrew his eyes and walked with them. His body was filled with a trace of indifference, bloodthirsty and cold. Yunwu can naturally feel his breath, or the fluctuation of his heart at the moment. But she didn't break it or comfort him. What she can do is to do everything to help him recapture everything that belongs to him, and let everything return to the track that belongs to him. The mountain wing room behind Nyantai. The night is charming, the cold moonlight is wiping the earth, quiet and quiet. The 3 powers gather together, and the 3 kingdoms competition is on the verge. It seems that it will be an uneasy night. Under the starry moonlight, a touch of dark shadow swept by. In addition to the wind speed microdrama, did not leave a trace of abnormality. How did you go to the Samurai Academy? I haven't heard of you before. A touch of cold sound without a trace of temperature broke the quiet night, and the temperature around also dropped abruptly. Follow that woman. Mo Bai looked at Mo Yebing, and his lonely eyes couldn't say what was flashing. What did you find? The night of ink is frozen and white, and the air around is cold for a moment. I find the abnormality in his eyes. Not yet. Mo Bai didn't see Mo Yebing, but lowered his head. Mo Yi gave him a cold glance. Didn't you find out? Is this possible? But Mo Yebing didn't ask any more. After a cold glance at Mo Bai, his figure suddenly disappeared in front of him, and the ice-like bone gradually disappeared. Under the dark night, a slight sigh slowly exhaled. He knew he couldn't cheat him with anything. On the other side, Long Qingxia and Situlan are having a long talk. The moon is fading and the lake is shining. If you want to take back what belongs to you, you must get rid of him first. Situlan's eyes narrowed slightly, and a touch of cold swept through his eyes. Long Qingxia nodded undeniably, and the evil spirit's eyes raised a casual smile. It's not easy to get rid of him, and I can't wait, but... But what? Situlan glanced at him and asked. Wouldn't it be better for him to take me back himself? Dragon Qing evil pick eyebrow. The corner of the mouth swept a cold radiance. It's not so easy to get rid of Moibing. The last time he joined hands with Yunwu, he was so embarrassed that he almost lost her. This time, although he and Yunwu's strength have improved a lot, they are not sure to kill the Moibing. What's more, there is a mysterious beast gate behind him. If there is another way, he would rather choose one that can reduce the risk. Whether it's for her or for myself. Plan and act. When Situlan heard this, he frowned. When he sent you away from Long Shugua, how could he personally take you back? Or do you already have a way? Dragon Qing evil does not answer, just outlined the corner of the mouth, died with that strange smile. Tomorrow. Let's start tomorrow and get back on track. However, at this time, a touch of the evening breeze, a touch of bloody taste, invaded the tip of their nose. Long Qingxia Situlan's eyes sank and looked at each other. Two white figure instant sweep out, toward that white blood to seek. In the quiet night, they were like shuttle figures rolling leaves, cutting through the cold wind, and instantly disappeared in sight. When the dragon approached the blood behind the tree, there was a trace of meditation in his eyes. There was only one bloodstain on the tree trunk. From the bloodstain, we could see that it was obviously blocked by a sword, but there was no body. And the corner of Long Qingxia's, I suddenly noticed that there was a finger in the corner under the tree trunk, as if it had been torn down by something. Then he raised a curve in the corner of his mouth. This little thing. It always makes him so upset. Situlan swept around his eyes, and naturally found the broken finger in the corner. Just then, the patrol in the wing room appeared from the corner. Who are you? With a drink, a patrol guard came forward. Long Qingxia with Black Dosha and Situlan without any panic stood in the same place and looked at the patrol guard. When the patrolman saw the dragon of Black Dosha, he immediately saw that he was the son of the waste dragon who represented the king of God Warrior Academy. On the other hand, it's very eye-catching. But this is the student's wing room. He's with Long Zhun. Maybe he's also a student of Shimwang College. It turned out that he was one of the representative students of the Samurai Academy, Long Shitzi. What are you doing here so late? But at this time, the patrol guard suddenly swept to the tree trunk into a radial bloodstain. What's the matter with the blood? The patrol guard looked at Long Qingxia and Situlan, and his eyes were alert. Is it abnormal to have a little blood? Long Qingxia glanced at the patrol guard and slightly raised his eyebrows. Blood is normal, this is not normal. The guard picked up half a finger on the ground and gave a cold hum. Isn't that normal? How can I look at your finger as if it's one more? Dragon Qing evil Black Dosha under the canthus overflow a blood-sucking light. Even across the Black Dosha. It seems that people can feel that pair of eyes looking at the creepy weird. He is not waste. However, at this time, the momentum is absolutely not what waste should have. What's going on? There was a flash of fear in the guard's eyes. Looking at the dragon, his fingers trembled slightly, and half of them fell to the ground. I don't see anything. Dragon Qing evil mouth slightly a-yang. In this very period, smart people will choose this answer. The bodyguard nodded in a daze, and the rigid figure quickly disappeared in front of them like an arrow. Your woman seems to have caused trouble for you again. Situlan smiles warmly, and his eyes pass by a trace of helplessness. I'll go first. Without waiting for Situlan to say anything, the white figure of Long Qingxia has disappeared like a meteor. Situlan half narrowed his eyes and thought about something. He left after a long time. The fifth, under the moonlight and stars. Yunwu looks at the black-robed corpse lying under him, with a bloodthirsty smile on the corner of his mouth. Blood from the chest of the black-robed man flows out, reflected in the moonlight, reflected into the eyes of Cloud Dance, making the bloodthirsty eyes more chilly. Who sent it? Behind him a low magnetic voice rang. Cloud Dance looked back at the dragon Qingxia, slightly shook his head. The mouth is very hard, can't force out. Today, after Long Qingxia left, she just wanted to have a rest, but she found someone lurking on her roof and killed her all the way. Originally, I wanted to keep 2 people alive and continue to press questions. But I didn't expect that in the end. All 5 were killed. Dragon Qing evil mouth slightly yang, seems to have some helplessness. Kill to kill, Ink Night Ice all appeared, other people are not important. Cloud Dance tiny jaw head, she just some strange, if these people are not Mo Yi Ice sent, that is who sent? Is it difficult for them to be surrounded by people of the Beast Gate all the time? Is it, as the rising sun rises to the east, the dense sun adds a layer of hazy beauty to Nirvana? Today is the beginning day of the 3 Kingdoms competition. The surrounding of the challenge arena is difficult for the onlookers. And all the people in the challenge arena are here. The emperors, princes and ministers of the 3 kingdoms, as well as the contestants, are in place. Old Fengqi swept around and found that all the contestants had arrived, and the white eyebrows raised. I declare the game begins. The first match, Dragon Sky Warrior Academy versus Huangshu Warrior Academy. As the old saying of Fengqi falls, the players of the 2 colleges go to the challenge arena together. As soon as the 2 schools came on stage, there was a boiling roaring sound under the challenge arena, which was even more happy than when they came on stage. Yinwu is a little curious. Why do other colleges have students to cheer on, while their college has only 6 of them? Are you afraid of losing face? Or are you afraid of winning face? However, it is estimated that the old man of Inai College feels that he has lost 3 times in a row and has no face to be cheered by others. Of course, this is the Cloud Dance psychological guess. As for whether or not, she is not very interested. Cloud Dance lazily glanced at the challenge arena, then slightly dropped his eyes. Eyes hazy appeared a touch of sleep. I was tossed by those black-robed people in the middle of the night last night, and didn't sleep much. Today, I can make up for my missing sleep. This game has been regardless of her business. She is not in the mood to watch the results. 1 second before the battle, Su Tiansu he also looked back at Yunwu, hoping to see Yunwu's interested eyes or excited look. As a result, they almost lost their chin. Yunwu is sleeping there. And the dragon around her seems to have no interest, half squinting lazily, and seems to be bathing in the sun. People look at the fierce competition on the stage, and then look at the humble corner. Lazy 6 people are doing their own things, completely irrelevant. I can't help but see a black line on my forehead. Are they here to play? Why don't you look nervous? Is it because there is no chance of winning at all, so it just doesn't matter? Then it's a competition. Yunwu naturally doesn't care what they think, a lazy sleepy nap. Although it's a competition between 2 colleges. But after all, they are all top-notch in the college. It's not so easy to decide the outcome. The game started in the morning and didn't end until noon. With the announcement of Fengillo, Huangshu Samurai Academy won. Cloud Dance just lifted to lift eyelid, looking at the stage. Happy Qingfeng, the corner of the mouth pulls out a touch of radiance. Thanks to this speed, he was as happy as a pie. There were cheers and sighs among the students present, forming 2 extreme states. On the one hand, he seemed to face the sky and roar wildly. On the other hand, he looked dim and had no choice but to shake his head. Huangshu College won again. Because just after the game, the court had a short rest. After half a ring. In the next match, Huangshu Warrior Academy will compete with Zhan Shenwang Warrior Academy in a single-player competition. Huangshu Warrior Academy will be the first to draw lots. Under the glare of the crowd, Xiaoling Rui went to the stage to draw lots and gave it to Feng Qi Lao. Feng Qi opened the note, and saw that his face changed slightly. Then he cleared his throat and said, Xiaoling Rui is dancing with the clouds. Not only Xiaoling Rui, but also everyone was in a moment of consternation. But then there was a burst of sarcastic comments. Xiaoling Rui was one of the top 3 experts in Huangshu College. He was a waste. Is it too easy and boring to win? I hope Xiaoling Rui can solve the problem with one blow, so as not to waste too much time. Yunwu stands up in everyone's sarcastic smile, takes a cold glance at the crowd, and then closes her eyes and walks to the stage. Be careful, or your husband's heart won't stand it." As she left, the sound of Dragon's evil spirit rang from behind her. Cloud dance, a little step. Then he went to the challenge arena without looking back. Xiao Lingrui looked at the cloud dance in front of him, but was slightly shocked by the coldness of her body, especially the bloodthirsty cold smile on her lips, which made him feel a little untouchable. He never felt that way. What's going on? Clearly her face is morbid, weak, the whole image of a waste. However, why does her breath? The game begins. With the Wind 7 old a drink, Xiao Lingrui can only quickly adjust their own state of mind. Maybe he's oversensitive. Xiao Lingrui. Cloud dance. Two people are slightly jawhead, introduce each other, then each step back. The game is ready to start. Cloud dance glances at Xiao Lingrui, the talent of blue rank, the peak of great martial arts master. This strength is already the top master in the mainland of China. It seems that there are a lot of talents in Huangshu Warrior Academy, and Xiao Lingrui has been inquiring about cloud dance. What surprised him again was that he felt strange just now, but when he looked at it carefully, there was no fluctuation. It was like a black hole with no bottom. He can't see through her strength? The people in the challenge arena will not understand his surprise. They are all watching a good play and urging him to finish the fight. Xiao Lingrui could not help wrinkling his forehead. Are the students of Samurai Academy so brainless? Just he didn't know, cloud dance from the beginning. In order to avoid the limelight, deliberately hide their own spiritual breath. He just can't feel her strength. But the people under the stage can't even feel her spiritual power. Suddenly, the atmosphere on the challenge arena was abnormal. Xiao Lingrui wind element looms, intends to test the strength of cloud dance with a blow. In a flash, the wind property such as the yellow torrent of water surged, the whole air filled with green undercurrent. The wind whirled in the air, like a sharp blade sweeping. Cloud dance raised a bloody smile at the corner of his mouth, and the excitement in his eyes was slightly hooked up. Just when the wind came, the clouds were shining with green light. It was as fast as a shuttle, but everyone saw it. Just in a moment, the wind attribute disappeared. What did she do? The audience looked at the cloud dance, and their eyes were surprised. But still others think it's just a fluke and a coincidence. Dragon Qingxia's mouth is dyed with a smile. He looks at the cloud dance on the challenge arena and gives a deep smile. His woman is now blooming like a star. And the other four people, also completely did not have the hazy sleepiness just now, are staring at the stage for a moment, corners of the mouth with a light smile. Wind 7 old vicissitudes of the mouse on a hook, looking at cloud dance tiny a consternation. That wench but didn't even move to dissolve so strong wind attribute? How is that possible? Is it true that this girl's strength has surpassed him? Feng Qi's face changed slightly, but he couldn't hide his excitement. Xiao Lingrui's beautiful phoenix eyes were dancing in the clouds. The corners of his mouth moved unconsciously, but he was deeply surprised in his eyes. You. He felt the bloodthirsty light around the cloud dance, and he wanted to stop talking. No matter whether her strength is hidden or real waste. This competition is about the glory of Huangshu College. He can't lose it. It seems that we need to fight as hard as we can. Suddenly he drew out his sword, coagulated the wind attribute, his figure trembled, and instantly danced towards the clouds. It's too fast to capture. In an instant, I saw a long sword, straight into Yunwu's chest. The crowd screamed and cheered for Xiao Lingrui's perfect blow. But only Xiao Lingrui's body trembled, and his eyes were startled, which made him look unbelievable. No stab. How possible? Then the smile on everyone's lips gradually froze. Ha ha ha, it's not the daughter of my great general. Her strength is really new. Zhou Beishan's determined face was already sulky. When he saw Yunwu dodging the attack, he was immediately overjoyed. However, the fundus of those eyes was extremely deep. The Cloud family actually concealed the strength of Cloud dance from him. But Situ Jin just looked at Yunwu with a smile, as if everything had been in his expectation. The crowd looked at the figure gradually disappearing, and thought they were wrong. How could it be just a shadow? How could she escape that speed? Just when the people were stiff and surprised. Roar! Red flame suddenly burned half of the sky. A giant fire dragon circled in the air roared. Xiaoling Rui instantly felt a strong burning feeling behind him. He suddenly turned back, but saw a burning dragon rushing towards him. He didn't have time to think about it. Figure a sharp shake, jump in mid-air, quickly aroused fighting, instant water properties condensed out. A water dragon exudes a clear light. Green light quickly died in the air, to meet the fire dragon dancing in the clouds. Just for a while, the fire dragon will completely burn the water dragon, the flame in the air, the fire dragon posture arrogant. Xiaoling Rui didn't have time to be surprised. The vines around him surrounded him in an instant. Bang! Ah! With a scream, the fire dragon disappeared in the air, and the residual flame seemed to feel the burning feeling. People look at this scene. Eyes suddenly stare big. Quiet, still dead quiet. Everyone was shocked to forget to breathe, surprised, leaving only unacceptable. How is that possible? Xiaoling Rui covered his arm in pain, fell on the ground, and his forehead was dripping with sweat. The clothes on that arm had been burned a hole by the fire dragon, and the flesh and blood in the hole had been burnt, and the smell of burning immediately permeated the whole challenge arena. Is that the real flame? When a warrior's strength reaches a certain level, he can condense his attributes. However, it is only the result of the virtual strength. However, this girl's fire dragon is actually transformed by the real flame? How is that possible? As all the people present were shocked again when their pupils shrank. Looking at the cloud dance on the stage, and the bloodthirsty radiant outlined by the corner of her mouth, she was unconsciously thrilled. The people who used to laugh at her a moment ago are naturally the most afraid now. They are afraid that the cloud ball will attack them, or even kill them. This girl is so weird. Summon master. She's a summoner all of a sudden. A voice of dismal trembling and astonishment, carried out around the Nirvana cloud platform, lifted everyone's thoughts. Summoner? Did they hear right? How can that sacred profession, which no longer exists, reappear in a waste? However, all of the people present, their hearts suddenly sank. Is she really rubbish? If she's all rubbish, what are they? Waste and waste. At this moment, the black-robed Mo Yebing standing beside the Lord of Longshu Kingdom. When he saw the use of fire elements in Yunwu, his eyes suddenly became gloomy and terrifying. Sure enough, it's her. She really dared to use her strength in public, which means that she is no longer hiding. Before that, he sent people to search for the whereabouts of the girl. He almost searched all over the 3 kingdoms, but failed to find her whereabouts. Later, he heard that a girl summoner appeared in Lingqing of the King of God Warrior Academy, fighting fiercely. At the same time, in Shenhuang College, there was a waist 9 young lady who came to the school by the family background. But soon after, she even entered the inner college, so she sent someone to come. Her face has changed, and the person who sent her is not sure whether it is her or not, so he sent someone to follow her secretly to find a chance to catch her. But every time the people who are sent, there is no return. It turns out that they are really alone. No wonder. At the beginning, he had seen the power of the girl himself. Although he suffered from absorbing the power at the beginning, the beauty of her power was enough to arouse his greed again. Mo Yebing's eyes flashed greedy and strange, and was clearly seen by the dragon. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed, but his mouth drew a bloodthirsty arc. Don't be greedy too early. This time he won't let him have another chance. Wait, the good play is still to come. At this time, the whole challenge arena was in an uproar. Zhou Beishan's fierce eyes narrowed into a slit. It turned out that the national master said that there would be a summoner in Yunfu, which means the 9 young ladies. Is she the one who can bring 2 extremes to the Zhou dynasty by the difference between the enemy and the friend mentioned by the national master? Suddenly, there was a chill in Zhou Beishan's eyes, and his eyes looked at the cloud dance. Will she be an enemy or a friend? If she is an enemy, she cannot be left. Where to kill? To prevent future trouble. On the ring. Xiaoling Rui stares at Yunwu in horror. He clearly feels it. The fire just sent out by the fire dragon is a real fire, with a burning feeling that can destroy everything. After a long time, he was shocked. He looked up at the cloud dance and said, "Are you really a summoner?" The cloud dances. The eye light passes by a trace of impatience. It's this boring question again. Why did everyone see her as a summoner and ask again? Are you expecting that she will give a different answer? Cloud Dance mouth corner coldly a smile, glance at Xiaoling Rui. A lot of people have asked this question, but in the end they all died in my hands. You also want to be one of them? In fact, it's not her mania, but her impatience. Xiaoling Rui's face changed slightly when he heard the words. A trace of anger passed through his gentle eyes, and then he died. It's just a game, not a slaughterhouse. You don't need to bet your life on it. Xiaoling Rui moved the corner of his mouth. It is not difficult to see that when Chun's smile is disappearing. If this young girl is really a summoner, he will never be confused to gamble with her life. Looking at Xiaoling Rui's smile gradually faded, and his anger gradually rising from the bottom of his eyes, the cloud danced around the corner of his mouth. It's all the same. If I lose, I'll take charge of his life. After the cloud dance finished, the deep part of the eye light was stained with a bloodthirsty smile. She is walking away, either you die or I die. No one has the ability to stop her from killing. Because if the killing stops, it means she's not far from death. What a big tone. Xiaoling Rui snorted and sneered, and his eyes showed a trace of hostility. Suddenly he turned his hand, and the blue fighting spirit suddenly hit the clouds. As soon as the hand of cloud dance blows, the purple fighting spirit goes away. The two collide, a strong blow. With the huge afterwave bloom, suddenly blurred vision, wind chaos. But in the purple fighting spirit of Yunwu, there is some dark atmosphere. Mo Yebing saw this, but I don't know what the darkness is. When the line of sight in front of him gradually became clear, everyone was looking at the stage in a daze, and couldn't make a sound. Xiaoling Rui's figure has disappeared in the challenge arena. What about people? Cloud Dance slightly frowned. Eyes swept a trace of undercurrent. The corner of the mouth sneer did not reduce. It seems that this man is still a little interesting. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed slightly, looking at Xiaoling Rui who disappeared in the challenge arena. He was infected with an evil smile. Is space-bound? When he was in the Moyu forest, Zhou Feiyu, Shangguan and Nanganji were trapped in this kind of border. This kind of boundary is very difficult to feel the spiritual power. If you don't feel it with your heart, you won't know its specific meaning. Therefore, the best use of this kind of border is sneak attack. When Zhou Feiyu, Nanganji and Shangguan see Xiaoling Rui's disappearing figure, their thoughts also skip the boundary in the Moyu forest. Clouds hanging purple pupil eyes, eyes with a cold smile, blooming in the corner of the mouth, more bloodthirsty. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, a shadow suddenly appeared behind the clouds, like lightning, with the power of chopping all, sonorous. I saw that the long sword Wuxia was about to pierce into Yunwu's back. Bang. Almost in the same second, the black flame broadsword comes from the air, and the powerful power is buzzing in my ears. A knife and a sword collide, the clear sound of vibration reverberates back and forth, and the shadowless power spins. All of a sudden, several pillars on the challenge arena were cut off silently, and finally fell down with a roar. If there was another second, Xiaoling Rui would be sure to win, but in that second, Yunwu's sword roared and cut off his sword. The result is a sharp reversal. People exclaimed, "What the hell is going on?" Cloud Dance mouth bloodthirsty smile blooming. Eyes a cold, water element wrapped body. Speed swept to Xiaoling Rui. A touch of purple and dark color appeared in his hand. With strange power, he beat Xiaoling Rui away. The moment Xiaoling Rui's face changes color, he suddenly forms a boundary to protect his body that flies out of balance. In a moment, the wind attacks his body and reluctantly returns to the challenge arena. Xiaoling Rui covers the power of the sharp injustice in the elixir field, and coagulates the cloud dance just as his bloodshot eyes stare at the cloud dance. Poof! A touch of blood came out the next second. The speed of the wind element, the attack of the purple bucket's air condensation enchanting power. She has been lenient. Everyone was stunned and looked at the challenge arena. Everyone could not reflect the current situation in his mind. Isn't she about to be stabbed? Why is Xiaoling Rui injured now? The speed of Yunwu's shot was just a few seconds, and most people didn't see what was going on. Only know that she only with a few seconds turned the situation around. Who is she? How do you know where I am? Xiaoling Rui's eyes were fixed on the cloud dance, and the light of his eyes was a little surprised. Cloud dance mouth a lie, cold smile pull open. You are not always in? Xiaoling Rui is stunned. Can she see him all the time? How is that possible? The boundary he used is invisible to the naked eye. However, he did not know that cloud dance has another special element body, which is the space element. The boundary may not be the same as the space element, but it's only a small meaning to detect his position. What's more, she's a killer. He's too young to play sneak attack with her. Suddenly, Xiaoling Rui jumped up in the air, the corner of his mouth was cold, and his gentle eyes were extremely fierce. In this case, I have to do my best. Xiaoling Rui clapped his hands together. Yunwu felt that some kind of breath in the air was running away rapidly, and all gathered to Xiaoling Rui. The cloud dances, the I sun suddenly am I. It's wood. He is gathering the wood property near the cloud platform. The shortcut of Lanine Cloud Platform is a dense forest, in which the wood properties are many and fine, and full of the spiritual power of wood properties. This Xiaoling Rui can control the wood property in the air. What skills is he using? However, it is at this moment. The cloud dances suddenly of feeling sky a dark, lift mouth to see. It was a huge cannibal flower. Yes, it's cannibal. However, it is different from her Hongling. This cannibal flower is wood blue, and its petals are similar to those of a trumpet flower. This cannibal flower is a combination of multiple elements, flexible and changeable. It can produce several parts between its branches. Cloud dance slightly frown, looking at the cannibal flower, eyes a cold. I don't know why I feel sick when I see this wood cannibal at the same time, but also some dark anger. He is destroying the image of Hongling in her mind. However, when the clouds frown, that split open 5 cannibal flowers, instant cloud dance crazy hit. Each big mouth can swallow 5 of her. Cloud dance palm purple fighting gas rise, just want a hand, and see cannibal flower appearance, and suddenly stop. Then they volley a hide, but was another cannibal flexible catch up. Hiding and catching up with continue to hide this, that again. Finally Yunwu couldn't bear it, and his anger suddenly burned in his eyes, kicking away a cannibal flower behind his ass. But the strength was just punishment. Soon the cannibal came back. Xiaoling Rui looks at the whole challenge arena where Yunwu is chased by cannibal flower, and a cold smile emerges. It seems that the so-called summoner is no better than you. The dragon in the corner looks at the cloud dance chased by the cannibal flower, with a helpless smile passing through his eyes. This little thing, and such a soft heart in Nangong Yi's unchanging eyes, looking at the figure dodging around, are also infected with a smile at the moment. Zhou Feiyu looked at the cannibal flowers with awe-inspiring eyes. He resisted the impulse and didn't cut them down. Lu Bai, who has no sense of existence, doesn't know where he is now. The challenge arena is not far away from the most noble position. Zhou Batian looks at the cloud dance which has always been in the upper hand, but is chased by several cannibals. His fierce eyes are full of anger, and the people under the stage were shocked and exclaimed when Xiaoling Rui made this cannibal flower. But at this time, it was also danced by the clouds, the funny appearance of running away, and began to laugh. On the ring. Hongling come out. Cloud dance calm anger, low roar A, instantly called out the Hongling in the contract space. As soon as Hongling's figure appeared, the small figure suddenly turned into a big one, and restored its huge body. Master. It's disgusting to solve them all. Cloud dance a cold drink. When Hongling saw the pirated cannibal flower, she showed her teeth and cracked them. Her tusks were grinded and cackled. It's the master. After answering the call, Hongling immediately turned her head and glared at the cannibal flowers, and began to shout angrily. I hate it, young man. People have ruined the beautiful image of Lao Tzu. You should die one by one. The big red flower, angry almost spitting fire like, fiercely towards the distance cloud dance near a cannibal flower bite. Pouring blood, the ferocious fangs twinkle, full of cold. Click click. Strange biting sound, a bite of the cannibal flower bite of the rotten, disappeared in mid-air. Cloud dance looks at the speed power of Hongling. Isa mi, Hongling's spiritual power has improved. It seems that with her breakthrough, Wuzuan, these little guys who have contractual relationship with her also rise. Contract beast? Is this the contract beast of the summoner contract? But it's a plant, not Warcraft. What's going on? The crowd looked at Hongling on the challenge arena and gaped in amazement. Seeing Hongling, Dragon's evil mouth raises a smile of evil spirit. This little thing is always so black-hearted. After Hongling solved the last pirated cannibal flower, cloud dancing figure swept, countless mirages appeared, palm dark purple fighting reappearance, void fierce blow. Bang! Almost at the same time, a black figure in the void flashed from the border hiding, fell rapidly, and a loud noise rang out. The crack of the challenge arena, the cry of the crowd. All of a sudden, the atmosphere of the whole stadium was strange and restless. The cloud dances down in the air, looking at Xiao Lingrui lying in the concave challenge arena. The corners of his mouth are indifferent. How do you feel? Xiao Lingrui took the pain and pulled the corners of his mouth powerlessly. After a long time he said, "Not bad." He wiped the blood from the corners of his mouth. His face was pale and bloodless. His bones were broken. His arms were on the ground, and he stood up reluctantly. He was dancing in the clouds, and a cold smile appeared in the corner of his pale mouth. Yunwu slightly picked up the corner of his mouth, and his indifferent eyes glanced at him. "I hope I won't be disappointed." Suddenly, they whirled around to see a sharp hurricane. All of a sudden, the white clouds and blue sky seemed to change color, and became dark and turbid. Although everyone in the arena is a certain distance away from the challenge arena, they can still feel the sharp edge. The eye sun of Mo Night ice cold looks at the half sky of change color. The cold idea around the body almost condensed the air. He looks at Cloud Dance more than enough to deal with Xiao Lingrui, who is at the level of great martial arts master. His eyes are cold, and a sense of gloomy killing emerges. From the last fight, her strength has improved so much. He could hardly measure her strength. Originally, he thought that she was deliberately hiding, but now her hand, he was unable to find out. Especially the dark power in her body. This girl must not stay. On the ring, Xiao Lingrui's cold and strange smile, green, blue, red, yellow 5-color body, forming a 5-color vortex. The whirlpool rips the hurricane, sharp as a blade, leaving a scratch where it passes. The gray half sky is filled with 5 attributes and dyed with strange light. That's He's 5 attributes in one. People exclaimed God. Not to mention the 5 attributes, the 2 attributes of people in this mainland of China, have been counted as one of the few. Is he a 5-attribute man? Cloud Dance glances at Xiao Lingrui, and his mouth is sharp. Interesting. In this strange world, among the people she met, the dragon was a demon. There was no attribute distinction, and all 7 attributes could be used. This is the first time that she has met a person with 5 attributes. At this time, Xiao Lingrui condenses the 5 attributes on his fist. The whole fist is shining. He can vaguely see the 5 attributes moving back and forth between his fingers. In a flash, the shadow of the hurricane struck, with the power that people can't get close to, ferocious and amazing. Cloud Dance, deep eyes, in the hurricane and strong power of chaos, a head of green silk dance like charm, purple drag moving. In the eyes of the people surprised, Xiao Lingrui's powerful fist is on Yunwu. There was only one step between them, and the hurricane whirled wildly, wrapping them inside. People outside only vaguely see 2 figures, as well as that in the hurricane blooming colorful light of the spirit. Suddenly, in the body of the green hurricane, the purple light suddenly appeared, with a zizi sound, like lightning constantly hitting. Bang! With a loud sound that goes straight to the sky. The 2 figures are shocked to retreat. Yunwu was just shocked to take a small step back, and then stop steadily. But Xiao Lingrui was directly shocked away. A scream, accompanied by a dull landing sound. In this contest, she won. They all stood up and stared at Xiao Lingrui on the stage. See Xiao Lingrui mouth corner blood continuously overflow. The whole person's face is pale, like being put dry blood, forehead tightly wrinkly, seemed to be very painful. Poof. With a ferocious frown, a mouthful of blood came out again. The people were shocked. How much is it? Xiao Lingrui tried his best to support himself, but he still couldn't get up. It was only with the help of a student of Huangshu College who came to the stage that he stood up. Xiaoling Rui looks at the cloud dance, a pair of eyes deep shock in shock. Are you the 7 systems of the same body? Xiaoling Rui's painful eyes looked at the cloud dance. There was anger and reluctance in his words, and he was more surprised. Maybe few people can see the situation clearly, but he can't see it better. When he attacked her, his 5 attributes were isolated by her space barrier. When her other 5 attributes appeared, he also used the barrier in martial arts. But did not expect, she actually also has the thunder element. The enemy of martial arts. At that moment his border was destroyed, he was shot away, and she just stepped back. How big is the difference between the two? So you can see. Blue talent, great martial arts master level 5 systems in 1. Special martial arts. He never thought that he would lose so thoroughly and lose on this stage. However, he was secretly glad that he was shot away. Instead of being eroded by her terrible power, Xiaoling Rui can't help but shake his fist in anger. He was defeated in such a mess. Was it a fluke that he left his life? When people heard Xiaoling Rui say that the 7 systems are the same, they were shocked and looked at Yunwu. 7 systems in 1. Is she a member of the 7 systems? 7 series summoner? Isn't that the almighty summoner? How is that possible? Haven't thunder elements and space elements disappeared for a long time? How could the jaw of everyone's astonishment almost fell down? Is the rumored waste Miss 9 really the person in front of her? In front of the cloud dance, clearly still that some sick face, but at this moment of her, but give people a kind of cool, bloodthirsty, cold, arrogant and domineering, which is like rubbish. But when they didn't compete, they all ignored this point and thought that she was the trash only. Is it their arrogance that blinds them? In the end, did it blind them? Cloud dance eyes cold sneer, looking at the eyes of the people in consternation, cold hum. She doesn't like to be noticed. But isn't that what she wants today? She wants to let everyone know that she is not a waste that can be handled at will. Then Cloud Dance looks back at Xiaoling Rui, and the corners of his mouth outline a light smile, cold and bloodthirsty. Thank you for your strength. Let me achieve the purpose I want. Suddenly, Xiaoling Rui heard the voice of Cloud Dance in his mind. Xiaoling Rui suddenly raised his eyes and found that Yunwu was looking at him like a smile. She said thank you for getting her there. Does his strength only serve his purpose? No threat at all? There was a flame in his eyes, a flame of anger. With a cold smile, Yunwu glanced at the crowd and said coldly, I'm Miss 9 of Yunfu. I'm the waste in your mouth, and I'm also the fiancé of Long Shitzi. Please remember that in the future. Having said that, she did not look at the crowd anymore, and a plunder had already appeared beside Long Qingxia. The Wind 7 old looking at to leave a figure. The sharp mouth sun inside, the surprised facial expression didn't subside. This girl has 7 elements at the same time? He was surprised to stare straight at Yunwu, and his eyes were excited and uncontrollable. Thunder elements and space elements have disappeared for many years, so no one can use them. Almost, people have long forgotten their existence. Although Xiaoling Rui also uses space to form a boundary, it's just a special skill. Although he is surprised, it's definitely not as good as this girl. Old Fengqi quickly felt his heart, and tried to calm the excited abnormal heartbeat. This girl let him be surprised. Excited heart disease almost came out. Yunwu sits next to Long Qingxi and glances at him with a smile. The whole person leans on his shoulder relaxed. Long Qingxia stroked her hair, and her eyes were full of smiles. Now I think my face is full of light, and I have found treasure. Then treasure it. Cloud Dance micro closed eyes, lazy response. Dragon Qingxia's mouth was full of smile, holding Cloud Dance's waist, looking at people's eyes still staying on Cloud Dance. His eyes sank, and he said with a smile, I really don't like to let others see you like this. Cloud Dance smell speech, slightly lift Mao on his shoulder, helplessly glance at him one eye. That how can you do? It's easy. Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrow a pick, enchantment lifted a touch of hot. I go on stage, let them see me. Under the black line of Cloud Dance's forehead. Wind 7 old has been excited looking at Cloud Dance, At this time just found, cloud dance and dragon pour evil posture is ambiguous. The corner of the mouth can't help smoking. It's a game. What are they doing? However, the Wind 7 old also be regarded as the human spirit. Quickly take back the vision. A spit not smooth, just cough for a long time. I declare that Shaoling Rui challenges Yunwu and Yunwu wins. Wind 7 old micro lift chin. A face serious say. But his eyes could not help glancing at Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxie again, thinking deeply. Since the girl and Long Shitzi fall in love so much, it is estimated that Long Shitzi must have something extraordinary. It seems that the next good play is still going on next. Dragon 3, King Warrior Academy, draw lots on stage. Wind 7 old red, glanced at a Dragon Qing evil, but touched Cloud Dance cold eyes. Can't help but a creeping. How could he provoke her? How could he look at him with a murderous eye? Long Qingxie looks at Cloud Dance's icy eyes, smiles at the corners of his mouth, and bewitches him. Waiting for my husband to come back. Yunwu reluctantly moved his head on his shoulder to the back of the chair, then frowned slightly, sat up and nodded indifferently. Long Qingxie looked at Yunwu's uncomfortable expression without his shoulder, and his eyes couldn't help flashing a look of doting. However, under the gaze of the crowd, he took back his sight and walked on the challenge arena like a leisurely walk. There was an indescribable grace in his manner. The black dosha made him look like he was dyed with a mystery from his bones. However, Long Shitzi seems to be a well-known waste. However, just after seeing the battle of Cloud Dance Wastewood against the sky, people's eyes to see Dragon's evil were more or less doubted. At the beginning of the irony, now there is no more. They just stare at the dragon and don't say anything. Because I really don't know if there will be such a counterattack. After Long Qingxie came to the stage, he took out a note in the box and gave it to Fengqi. Dragon 3 of Shenwang Samurai Academy, against Qingfeng of Huangshu Samurai Academy. Wind 7 old sea dragon Qing evil smoke after the note. Think of Cloud Dance to Qingfeng put forward the conditions. Face a moment slightly changed. This year's competition is really a headache. Zhou Batian saw the dragon on the stage. Li Rant's eyes sank slightly. It seems that I vaguely feel that at this time, some of the breath of the Dragon 3 is different from the past, like something is hidden. Is he pretending to be a waste? And Moi seen Cold Mao Sun, also all the time looking at Long Qing evil, seemed to have found a touch of familiar breath on him. On the ring, the two figures stand opposite each other. A smile of evil spirit under the black veil, a smile of disdain. Long Qingxie looks at Qingfeng, and his eyes pass by with a smile. Blue talent. At the beginning of Wuxing's life, he was so powerful in his 30s that he could be called a genius among the geniuses. No wonder he was so arrogant. It seems that he had some capital. However, in front of him he is always the only one who is crazy, but it's not his turn to be arrogant. But in this moment, a touch of blue fighting spirit came in the air, and waved straight at the dragon. Dragon Qing evil figure a shake, easy to avoid a blow. The corner of the mouth outline smile gradually bloodthirsty. Then Qingfeng's figure is wiped, and a water sword is sweeping. The dragon doesn't hide this time, but reaches out a palm to meet it. Is he going to die? Just when everyone thought that Long Qingxie was looking for death, he turned his hand and Qingfeng's water sword suddenly disappeared out of thin air. In the moment of Qingfeng's surprise, with a wave of dragon's evil purple fighting spirit, he flew out in an instant. Wind speed turbulence, a burst of rapid collision sound and a few crisp leap into the ears of the people. He's a purple talent? Return a blow will be the strength of the early Wuxing fly. What's the matter with the two rubbish in the rumor? Isn't that a great strength? Qingfeng stood up, arrogant eyes staring at the dragon evil, killing spread. Cloud Dance corner of the mouth sneer at a glance Qingfeng. Don't seek to die will not die. Now it seems that he is seeking to die. Zhou Batian saw the counterattack of Dragon Qingxie, and his fierce eyes were suddenly surprised. He has been hiding his strength? For more than 10 years, even he has been cheated? What the hell does he want to do? The cold light of Zhou Batian's eyes flickered darkly. It seems you have some strength too. Qingfeng glances at Dragon Qingxie. Although he disdains, he is surprised that he has purple talent. Dragon Qing evil smell speech. That black fight under the cape of the lip bloodthirsty hook. Hoarse voice die with a sense of arrogance. Enough to fly your strength. Enough to fly him? What a arrogant tone. Qingfeng smell speech face instant iron green. A black sword suddenly appear gloomy way. Seek death. The dark black sword exudes a strange light. Even the breath on Qingfeng seems to be integrated with the black sword. Dragon Qingxia looks at the black sword, his eyes slightly narrowed. It's a black sword made of black iron. As soon as his bloodthirsty light came up, an épée appeared in his hand and collided with the black sword. Bang! There was a sonorous echo. Qingfeng's eyes flashed a little surprised, and he tried his best to hold the black sword, so as not to throw it away. But soon Qingfeng's face suddenly changed. That strike collided, and the strength of black sword actually ate him back? Qingfeng coagulates the dragon to pour evil, and the eye light flashes a color of horror. What did he do? Mo Yebing, who has been sitting, sees the épée in the hand of Long Qingxia, and the dark eyes are sweeping the strange cold light at the moment. It's him. No wonder he felt that his breath would be so familiar. It's him. What have you done? Qingfeng burning angry eyes a cold. Black sword pointed to the dragon Qingxia asked. Long Qingxia sneered and said, "Can't you see it? The strong in the early days of Wuxia." The last two words, it seems that deliberately increased a few points. Qingfeng smell speech. The anger in the eyes is more obvious. That anger seems to burn to the black sword. Suddenly the black sword also hazy pan with a touch of fireworks. In an instant, the breath around Qingfeng changed strangely, the figure trembled, and the wood property attacked instantly. As soon as the sneer of Dragon Qingxia's eyes passed by, a green light rose in his body. He was fighting with wood. Qingfeng water attribute. He also water attribute. He is a native, and so is he. It's like provocation, it's like mockery, it's like fun. And the people under the stage saw their way of fighting. They were too stunned to speak. How many attributes does he have? Isn't he rubbish? Is it hidden strength? Shouldn't it be the same as Miss Yin Jiajiu just now? Is it the same with 7 attributes? God, what's the matter with these two people? Suddenly, Long Qingxia seemed to be tired of playing, and a bloody light rose from the corner of his mouth. In an instant, the 5 elements come out together, condensing all their strength on the épée, winding the purple fighting spirit, and waving it in the air. Bang! With a loud noise, the whole challenge arena split into 2. Long Qingxia and Qingfeng are 1 and half. And at this time of Qingfeng, eyes in addition to surprise or horror, I saw that the black sword in his hand was divided into 2 parts by the qi of the sword. Half of the black sword was in his hand, with blood on it. It was left on his shoulder. He was cut by the blow just now. At the moment, his shoulder is open, and his white robe is stained with a large amount of blood. The blood is still flowing out. Ferocious and bare-faced Qingfeng glanced at the dragon, but his eyes were shocked and deep. The strike of Long Qingxia just now combined 5 attributes and his own fighting spirit. He thought he could take his strike, but now the result is his strength really above him? No way. He didn't believe that there was anyone in the world who had more talent than him. He is the first one to break through the martial arts stage in less than 30 years. It's absolutely impossible for anyone to be more talented than him. It's absolutely impossible. Qingfeng's eyes became more fierce, and the darkness in his eyes was a little bit more. This time I'll take your life. Do you have the ability to take it? Dragon Qing evil mouth bloodthirsty smile a hum. I light inside flit a touch of uninteresting. Such arrogant and conceited people waste their strength in vain. Then you can see if I have the ability. His voice just fell. Suddenly, Qingfeng's figure suddenly flickered, and in an instant, 6 illusions appeared around Long Qingxi. Phantom? The cloud dance under the stage frowned slightly, and the light of eyes flashed a little bit of surprise. These 6 illusions have the same breath and strength as the Numenon, and they can't tell which is the real Numenon. But the strength is equal to that of 6 people. She had never seen such a mirage. The strength of the 6 martial saints in the early stage was 6 to 1. Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil. The Mao light passes a touch of worry. I don't know if this man can handle it. Long Qingxia's eyes dropped, and his smile swept the 6 figures in front of his eyes. The bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth seemed to be gradually deepened, and added a lot. Suddenly a shadow came. Just at the moment of Dragon's evil hand, another figure came at a gallop. Want to give him a double click? As soon as the dragon's evil eyes narrowed, his purple fighting spirit condensed, and his feet moved, he took a quick hand to solve one problem in an instant. However, it was at the same moment. Brush! He suddenly felt the wind whistling in his ears, and his figure leaped in the air in an instant. It was still a step late. The black dosha on his head floats in the wind, showing off a perfect radiance, and a sound of cool air under the stage. The burned face, pockmarked and uncovered, showed itself in front of everyone. How ugly, is this the true face of Long Shitsi? No wonder they wear black gauze all day long. It's really ugly. People like this don't find a way to get in. At the beginning he was still shocked by the strength of the dragon, but at this time he was completely frightened by the appearance of his black dosha. One after another, the sound of disgust spread all of a sudden. Cloud Dance listened to the public's discussion, lazy eyes swept a frost. The sharp smile of the corner of the mouth also hook up. Not only did people talk in whispers, but Zhou Feiyu and Shangguan were stunned for a long time when they saw his face. Although we all know that he was disfigured, we didn't think it would be so serious. A face with edges and corners is beyond recognition now. Even the lips are half burned. Isn't he the evil man? How can such a face be under the black dosha? Is this his face changing? Or is that what he is? Otherwise, why do you dare not show your true face all the time? Zhou Feiyu looks at the dragon and looks back at the Cloud Dance. Although he can't express any opinions to him around her, it doesn't mean he won't think. If the true face of the Dragon 3 is really this face, he will feel some terrible and ferocious after seeing it. Does she really have no feeling at all? Think of her slouching on his shoulder. Think of her kissing him. Somewhere in Zhou Feiyu's heart, there was some nameless anger. However, there was a ripple in Shangguan's lazy eyes. However, when he saw Yunwu's sneer, he soon retired. The person she chooses, he seems not qualified to say anything. What's more, he always felt that the Dragon 3 was not simple. Perhaps his face in front of him was just a mask. Because the evil man who followed her in the forest before, if it was not the Dragon 3, would the evil man give her to other men? Think about it. The Shangguan heart seems to have some mirror up. In addition to the Cloud Dance, there seems to be another one that is the quietest, with no change in the look. That's Nanganji. In his eyes, it seems that all the camouflage does not exist, just like the original Cloud Dance. No matter how easy she is, it seems that she can't escape his eyes. Long Qingxia, Long San, and even that little dragon in his eyes, he always saw a person. Now how could he be surprised? On the ring, Qingfeng, who lives in the mirage, sees the face of Dragon 3. His eyes suddenly stagnate. It seems that he can't believe it. His body suddenly freezes. And it's this stiffness that gives Dragon Qingxia goal. Dragon Qingxia's bloodthirsty smile suddenly deepened. The Apei roared through the sky and circled. The fierce sword chi rubbed against Qingfeng. Qingfeng just glanced at the Apei, but he was not in a hurry. His body was like being hit by a huge stone, and he had no resistance to let the sword chi lead him to roll. Colliding with pillars, splints, stones, intense unbearable pain. Let that Qingfeng pain hum a voice. Poof! But a mouthful of blood is sprayed out. Dragon Qing evil bloodthirsty eyes, looking at the distant figure on the ground, the radiance of the mouth continues to expand. In the second game he won. Everyone looked at the Qingfeng who was hit by a blow and couldn't get up anymore. The light in his eyes changed slightly, and the surprised eyes coagulated that ferocious face. With one move, Qingfeng was hit dozens of meters away. How powerful was his blow? How strong is this man? Is he allowed to play with Wuxia? However, no one knows. Just that blow for a man, it really didn't even work. Long Qingxia takes back his eyes, takes the Apei back to the space, and the deep eyes ponder for a moment. He raises his eyes and puts his eyes on Mo Yebing. After that, Long Qingxia jumped down from the challenge arena in full view of the public, and walked towards the position of the leader of Longshu Kingdom. There is no one to stop. Because as everyone knows, Long Shixi, although he is now the exchanged son of the Zhou dynasty, is also the third prince of the state of Longsu. As for the status, that is the second. Long Qingxia went to the position in front of the seat and took a look at the lord of Longshu, his so-called father emperor. Master, how do you think the spirit of the lord is not good and his face is not good? Dragon Qing evil eyes light dim, sword eyebrow a pick ask. Mo's icy eyes look directly at Long Qingxia. He exposes his strength in public and makes him discover his identity. Now he comes up to ask in public. I really don't know what medicine he bought in the gourd. The old disease of the lord recurred and he was in a bad state. I'm worried about Long Shixi. It seems that the warmth of the whole Nirvana Cloud platform has dropped a few points. Long Shixi? The national master deliberately called out the title, as if to remind Long Qingxia that it was the exchanged son of the Zhou dynasty. However, Long Qingxia's mouth was raised, and the book's ferocious face was even more ferocious. If so, I know a little bit about medicine. Why don't you let me treat the old diseases of the Lord? With that, Long Qingxia wanted to explore his hand. Ink Night Ice but hand a stretch, stop the hand that Dragon Qing Evil wants to probe to come over. Don't bother Long Shixi. I've already looked for the Imperial Doctor. Ink Night Ice has been calm eyes, cold as prison breath coagulation, speculate on the purpose of Dragon Evil. Yes, seeing that the Lord is still in such a state, it can only be said that the Imperial Doctor of Long Shugua only eats dry food. Long Qingxia half squints his eyes, slightly raises the corners of his mouth, and his eyes are smiling with ink ice. Ink Night Ice smells speech, facial expression tiny change. The third son of the dragon has been showing up as a waste material, saying that the Imperial Doctor is a quack. What's your trick? The Mo Night Ice cold mouth son doesn't have a silk other facial expression. Direct vision Dragon Qing Evil seemed to want to shoot him to where. Everyone knows that Long San is the son of Long Yaozi and the third prince of Long Shugua. This Mo Yi Bing sees Long Qingxia as a completely irrelevant outsider in front of the public, and his tone is so disrespectful that people present can't help but wonder. This national teacher's face is too big. Even if the emperor's old illness relapses, it seems that it's not his turn to speak, right? However, the reputation of the national teacher in Longshu State did spread to other two countries. At the beginning, it seemed that it was the master of the state of Longshu who calculated that the third prince of the dragon was the disaster star of the state of Longshu. So he sent the third prince of the dragon to the Zhou dynasty, and became the son of the dragon. I saw that Long Qingxia dropped his eyes with a smile, and the corner of his mouth was cold. Then he raised his eyes and said, It seems that I, the third prince of Longshu Kingdom, don't believe you, the national teacher of Longshu Kingdom. In this case I don't know. As Long Shao, the leader of the Dragon Pavilion, is the weight enough? What? Long Shao. I saw that the words of Long Qingxia fell. Not only the Ink Night Ice was stunned, but also the people present were stunned. Long Shao, the leader of Longa Pavilion, is famous throughout the three kingdoms. That's Long Shao, who monopolized the business of the three kingdoms. The lords of the three kingdoms, as well as the emperors and nobles, have always wanted to attract people. Just when everyone was in a daze. Dragon Qing Evil ferocious face outlines a radian, staring at the Ink Night Ice eyes. There is a bloodthirsty meaning. Everything will start here. Suddenly, Long Qingxia put a hand on his face and pulled it fiercely. A human skin mask was pulled off. Under the mask of the ferocious burned human skin, it's a face of evil spirit, indifference and evil. It's just like a carved face. It's not perfect to have more or less. Especially with that pair of unique golden eyes and a head of elegant silver hair, dyed the evil color of evil. That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.